What up, Blackman? Yo, I hope everybody had a great weekend. Happy Monday. We have a lot to talk about in the NBA world, and it's not even the NBA season, but y'all know how it gets in the offseason. Currently, it's the Summer League. We had some breakout performances. We had some players that are kind of a little underwhelming. We had some exciting games. We're going to recap the Summer League and what's going on, what all happened this weekend. We will talk about a contract that's kind of a little suspicious, would you say, Swiper? Gary Trent? Yeah. Gary Trent's contract is a little inflated, if you will. So we'll get into that. We'll also talk about the Golden State's new hire of a coach that potentially could be taking over for Steve Kerr. Shout out to Frank Vogel, former Laker and Pacers coach. But we got to talk about Victor Wembanyama. And he just signed a Supermax deal. But he took less than what he could have taken. And, Wemby is obviously one of the better players in the league. We all hold him in high regards.
You in particular, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Victor's the best player in the league.
Yeah, so make sure we clear on that. Mm-hmm.
And so he signed a 5-year, $252 million contract. Mm-hmm. It could have been a 5-year, $303 million contract. So he essentially left $50 million on the table. What are our thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, let's get something correct, Ron. Wemby did not sign a Supermax. Wemby is not eligible for the Supermax. That was a rookie max.
Okay,
so he's not eligible for the Supermax. That's number one. Number two, Ron, put some respect on Coach Vogel's name. World champion head coach, world champion assistant coach. I'm not just an assistant. Yeah. We won the NBA championship with me. I am the man. But what it tells me is that we got our guy. This is the guy we're building around. He's our foundational piece, not a foundational piece. He is the foundational piece. Wemby has shown in the past, even before signing his contract, that he is a team guy and he wants to do what's best for the team. I don't know what it is about San Antonio, but they seem to attract these kind of guys that are very team-friendly guys that don't really take all the money. And what Wemby did was Wemby made it clear that I do want to win, because it gets tricky, Ron, when you want to get paid, but you want to win too. So if I'm taking all the money, it's pretty difficult for a team to build a unit around me in order for us to have an opportunity to win. So the fact that Wemby, he did this in the sense where I could have signed in a year for $300 more million, but I'm also betting on myself if I do that. I'm betting on not getting hurt. I'm betting on staying healthy. And he decided that, you know what, I'm going to take the money right now, and I'm going to trust that the organization is going to build a championship unit around me. And I just think that San Antonio has been, for quite some time, they've been a first-class organization, and they got their foundational piece. Now they still have some time with both Harper and Castle, who are still on rook deals, because Moss has mentioned this, plenty of times, that you have, especially in this day and age, that you have to maximize rookie deals. And I feel like that's what the San Antonio Spurs are doing with their young guys. So, I think this is a big time for them. Absolutely.
Chill, you said they attract guys like this. Do they attract them, or do they create guys like this?
I think
do they develop guys like this?
I think two things could be true. I think it's the same as saying that some guys have that dog in them and you just bring it out of them. I think it's the same logic with the San Antonio Spurs guys, where like they are that, and it's the San Antonio way of bringing that out of them, where they're a very group-oriented organization, and what's best for the group is the mentality. Like, how do we get to where we're trying to go? And I think San Antonio has instilled that in their guys. But I think that they do their homework on their guys, because if you notice, a lot of those guys who aren't around. And they've had guys like that within their organization. If those guys aren't for the group, then they're not around. So I think two things can be true in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, $50 million, that's a lot to leave on the table. And, one of my biggest things about this whole thing, we don't see a lot of star sacrifice. Like, it is rare. Oh, man. It is rare that we would see a star leave money on the table for their team to be better. Y'all disagree?
he would have to hit that. He would have to hit the 65 game mark and some other things to even get those escalators in the first place to get the 303 million.
He was eligible to do it.
Yeah, but like even for it to kick in though, there's other stuff that would have to happen. But I think
on this current deal that he signed, on the current deal that he signed.
Yeah, so he took a 25% for 30 max, but the 30% still had like escalators in order to get to another level though. I guess that's what I'm saying, Ron. So, but ultimately, I hate this. Shout out Wemby. It's great. Selfless act to say no to $51 million. Obviously any person that's like, I have the ability to earn more money and you decide not to do it is great. But on the other side of this though, I think this is a farce. I think that the NBA and the CBA is making it the players' responsibility to somehow build the roster or be concerned about how much other people are going to make or their ability or inability to do things. I think Jalen Brunson is obviously the prime example of this because he took $100+ million less. Now he's going to make it on the 28 extension where he's going to be making 5 years 400+. So he's going to get his money back. But on the other end of this, like the NBA is in this situation and the players are in this situation because the CBA is such a mess. And so then they're taking on the responsibility of, well, I want to make sure that we can build a good team and my teammates can be on the squad. And so therefore Wemby feels inclined to take a pay cut. Jalen Brunson feels inclined to take a pay cut when the billionaires that are running the team are not taking any pay cuts, but they're putting restrictions in place that to way they have an excuse not to spend a lot of money or spend like Denver is the luxury tax for $217 million to be over the second apron and all that. So it shouldn't be a story to me. Like this is a business. And I think the idea that somebody go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to ask, what's the total?
You ain't gonna say good morning. You just gonna walk in here and just snatch the mic.
What's the total amount that he signed for?
It's
252.
It's 252 on the surface.
And then he could have got 303 with the escalators.
And there was some incentives in it too.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, the fact that this is such a story and people are so shocked says a lot more to me about people. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal either way. Like I think this is like, he signed for $252 million, bro. He's rich as shit. Like that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do get Swiper's logic.
It's not to me. It's like, is it a pay cut or is it a choice to make a shit ton of money?
It's a pay cut for sure.
My thing, how I look at it, Swiper. I'm always like, you didn't lose what you didn't have. It's not a pay cut if you didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? My only thing is if he looks at it as a way. If he looks at it as a way to be able to help build a roster that he's not going to be complaining about in 2, 3, 4 years, then shout out to him. Because if they're now, I understand what you're saying, Swiper. The CBA, it might be terrible. It might not be the best CBA, right? But yet it is the CBA, and so if those are the rules and that's how it is. And you understand, like, okay, in order for me to be able to build a competent roster and chase championships, this is the amount of money I'm going to sign for to make sure that Dylan Harper can get his, Steph Castle can get his. We can still sign better players once we, once we get to that point.
Tobias Harris.
Tobias had a hell of a season, right?
Yeah.
And they got him on the cheap, actually. That little bit of money that they signed him for, that was nothing.
Yeah, but whoever it may be, they're
going to be able to pay Dylan Harper and Devin Vassell and
it doesn't have to
necessarily they have their bird rights. Like,
well, it doesn't necessarily have to be them, real talk. But he took 250 for a reason. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Sure.
He did it because he wants to be able to make sure that he's not complaining about a roster. The Lakers all season this year were mad because they're still paying LeBron James $50 million. You know what I'm saying? Like it's stuff like that people are going to be upset about in the long run. People are going to be upset about their team's cap, right. And once again to y'all, like if there's an issue with the CBA, then there's an issue with the CBA, but it's still the CBA, and Victor Wembanyama is the one that's going to step up. Like, hey, just pay me. You know what I'm saying? Just pay me this, and we're going to be able to
right quick, Swiper. Right quick, real talk. It's a two-part conversation too. Uh-huh. One conversation is about the CBA being garbage, So players have to take a pay cut so their team can compete. And then on the flip side, Victor Wembanyama being willing to take that pay cut. So it's two different conversations. One is the CBA, owners, billionaires, they're getting their money, but now players can't compete and still get their money because you'll be, tied down with the aprons and whatnot. And then you also have the players who are willing to sacrifice so their teams can compete. Or it's like, I'm taking my money and now we're just
That's
stuck.
a hell of a sacrifice, man.
Yeah, $50 million.
It is a sacrifice. Right, regardless of how you feel about it. If I offer you $300,000 and you're like, I'll take $250, you're still making a sacrifice because I offered you $300. Now, regardless of if there is other perks to come with it.
300,000, 250,000 is a big difference from 300 million to 250 million.
No, it's
The
not.
principle remains.
Yes,
though,
it
and
is.
The
Yes,
principle.
it is.
The principle.
300,000 isn't
remains,
life-changing
and
money.
That's
250,000 isn't life-changing money. That's not. That's not a whole bunch of
money. It's not
money.
about the dollar amount. It's about the principle. I don't change the principle due to the dollar amount. I'm not.
Yes. What?
No, I don't. Not from a
When it's 250,000, 250
not
million,
from-
you absolutely
let me
do.
explain what I'm saying. From an employee,
No explanation
employer,
necessary. That's ridiculous.
It is. So I'm going to say it. The employee,
do. It's still
the
ridiculous.
employee, got it. The employee to employer dynamic does not change regardless of how much money is being made. The principle to me still remains. So
the principle? Real
just
talk.
because we're playing with bigger numbers doesn't mean then I'm going to shift my dynamic or how I view the dynamic. If I feel like the employee is still not being valued correctly or fairly, then I don't give a damn that he's going to be making 250 when the owner is going to be making X amount of dollars in whatever the case may be. I don't change that off of the dollar amount. It's the principle.
He didn't get forced to take that money. Real talk. You make it seem like he was manipulated or something.
I didn't. Well, first off, we are up here discussing how the new.
I don't know if
CBA
I hate
is
that.
making-
To be honest with you, I don't know how. I mean, they did sit
we
down.
are up here
Go ahead.
discussing how the new CBA.
He
is
plays
making
chess.
players
Chill. He's a
take pay cut.
genius.
That doesn't mean
He's
that
a
you can't
genius.
get-
Chill. He
wait,
plays chess.
Wait. So just because you play chess, just because you're smart, that does not mean that you can't be talked into something. All of a sudden now, because guys are ridiculously smart, they can't be talked into something or shown something from a different way. And to your point, real talk. So Ox, if I'm making $40,000 and I end up getting a job where I make $250,000, that's life-changing money. My life is not the same.
250,000 isn't the life changing money.
That's how is that not life-changing?
It could change.
That is
It could
relative. That is relative.
It could change.
100%
Okay, yeah, it's relative. You're right. Okay, so let's take a step back. If you sign for $250,000, right? Okay, that's like, yeah, okay, we'll be able to take some more trips for the next couple of years. I'll be able to pay off a little bit of debt. You know what I'm saying? Great, for sure. We're talking about generational money with $250 million. $250,000 is not generational money. It's not generational wealth by any
Even
stretch
if
of the
it's not
imagination.
okay,
But that's so.
we're
So
talking about
that's my point. Like we should have never even started talking about 250,000 because this is not even. That's no. That is no way.
The reason why it's not.
You're doing the Mark thing.
I'm not.
You're doing
No,
the
I'm
Mark thing
not.
right now,
No,
bro.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm doing my thing.
Making.
Right.
No, you get the point I was making though.
No, you should have never even brought $250,000 into this.
Okay,
This is so.
What I'm saying, no, you're getting caught up in the money amount, and that's not the principle. If I
Well,
offer
you should have just kept it with what it was.
If I offer you 3 cars and you say, "Nah, Ron, I only want 2," once again you are making a sacrifice because you're not taking.
I can only drive 1 car at a time.
Oh, this nigga. Man.
So real talk. If I'm making
Just keep. Why are we trying to break it down when we have the actual number right there? Just keep it with what it is. Because all this shit that you guys are trying to do is just completely different way. Like $2,500 is closer to $250,000.
You had a rough weekend?
The 200. No, I had a great weekend.
Y'all lost in that tournament? That's what's going on right now?
Yeah, we lost in the championship, nigga. We had a great weekend. We was out there cooking.
Y'all went out bad?
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not. It was a hell of a weekend.
You said what money is closer to what money? You said what?
$2,500 is closer to $250,000 is than $250,000 is to $250 million. It's such a vast. Yes, no, chill. It is.
Chill. No, it's not.
It's such a vast difference for the example you tried to make, Ron, that I'm like, yo, can we please stop talking about this example and just talk about what it is? And once again,
you get the point I was making, though.
No, the point. I can get the point and still understand that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So why are you guys trying to come up with analogies instead of just talking about what's going on?
Let's talk about what it is. If I offer you $300 million and you take 250, you took a sacrifice.
Sure.
All right, that's the same shit I was saying. I
didn't say he didn't sacrifice. Once again, Ron,
just being obtuse.
You're trying to you're trying to nitpick at little shit when we could just keep talking. What I'm saying is, I didn't because nobody heard me say.
Let's keep talking.
That's what I'm trying to do. Nobody said, "Oh, he didn't sacrifice." I said, "Oh, that's a hell of a sacrifice," because it's when I'm making $250 million, like. I'm not even thinking about that no more. Like I got 250. You know what I'm saying? So my point being is yes, he didn't have to do that, but he did that. And he did it for a reason. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's getting taken advantage of. I'm not gonna act like he's getting whooped in this deal. I'm just simply saying that maybe we shouldn't be bred and shouldn't continue to breed our offspring to be so greedy that we're gonna sit around and harp on we're gonna be upset that this dude has $250 million. Like,
excuse me, Ox. I don't. I
go ahead, please.
Yeah, I don't want to. I wanted to, but I want to interject and say I'm gonna interject here because I don't want you to think I'm like just trying to cut you off. But I do think it's very important.
Thank you for that, Swipe.
Cut this nigga off, man. That's
no,
bullshit.
because last week this went left. It went left. I don't need. We're having a good business discussion.
What's wrong with left?
Ox, respectfully, as a capitalist, which you are. And as we are all participating in capitalism,
I'm just a human.
No, I know, but we live you are a capitalist.
Who likes money?
There's
He's a human who likes money.
Yeah, we all like money. Oh, I think everyone likes money. Real talk loves money. I love money. I mean, we all love. I would love more money. I would love more. Give me more. I would love. I want to earn more.
Taking money from Ron, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, right?
Who Olivia Miles play this week?
Ron,
who Olivia Miles play this week?
As you were saying,
a lot of money to a lot of people. In some of us who will have integrity, even when our starting quarterback goes down, we will still follow through with the bet because, W honor, right?
Unlike other people,
but unlike Ron, no. Zach Charbonnet, real talk, is the same thing as Bo Nix not being there. That's exactly what he said, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. But I will say this, Ox, to get to the point, is I respect your opinion, brother, but like it is not greedy to be an NBA player to have a 10 to 12 year shelf life at best, right? And then to earn the most amount of money you can when the very people, because you're a former athlete. I'm a former athlete. I was arguing for the NCAA. I was on the civil suit with the NCAA to pay us our money. I got a little check for $600 in 2015 because of the lawsuit we won because we weren't on the game and EA was using all of our stuff. So I'm all on this. Like, we all deserve to be paid. Every single one of us deserve to be paid. But the idea that you're going to be an NBA player and you're like, you spend your entire life building up your equity and you're so good now that you're owed within this market $300 million. But because of the CBA, the ownership put in place to limit their spending and then disincentivize other owners to spend more than me in this market because I don't want to be held to the foot of the bill because I don't have the same amount of cash equity or liquid equity as some other people do. Like, for instance, like the owners for the LA Lakers now, they own the Dodgers. They have more money than most people. Than the Clippers ownership, Ballmer, they got more money than everybody. So there are somebody in Orlando that says, well, I don't want to have to pay $200 million bill, but I also don't want him to have the best team of all time. So I don't want him to pay it either. But what happens in Ox, there's a threshold that exists, and the players exist in the threshold of a salary cap. So it is in the player's best interest to make as much money as possible for future negotiations as well. And what's happening is because we have so many selfless players that are Gen Z and millennial, they're saying, Jalen Brunson, Victor Wembanyama, well, because of my teammates, Josh Hart, Mikal, I want everybody to be able to eat, so I'm going to take $120 less million that I may never see back because there's no guarantee I'm going to see it later. I think that by nature is an ill-positioned mentality and philosophy when you live in a capitalist structure inherently. I think that's the problem because the billionaires are not doing that. The people that own the teams aren't making less money. So why is it fair that the player then, with a more limited shelf life, has to make less money?
Well,
that makes sense?
Two things, Swiper. Two things. First, I want to be clear that I didn't call Victor Wembanyama greedy. In fact, he's the opposite of that. I'm talking about people that are seeing this and they're losing their mind and up in arms because a grown man made a decision and they can't understand why would somebody actually take less money. That's just the mindset of people that are, you know what I'm saying? I was talking about the mindset of people, not Victor Wembanyama. I don't think he's being greedy, and I don't think players are greedy for signing for what they're entitled to or what they're qualified for. I don't think if Victor Wembanyama would have took $300 million, I would have never grabbed this microphone and said, Victor Wembanyama, you're just a greedy bastard. I would have never said those words because I don't believe that that's greedy. If you're eligible for it, you're entitled to it. You've put in the work for it, and you should sign. You should sign for whatever you want to sign for. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, Swiper, to your second point about anybody being forced to take anything, Victor Wembanyama wasn't forced to take that. He made the conscious decision to sign for that much money. And so what I'm doing here is defending Victor Wembanyama's decision to choose. You know what I'm saying? His body, his choice. He chose 250 instead of 300. Like that's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody else here is combating that point, though. I think what we're combating. What are y'all yelling at me for then, real talk? I think what me and Swiper are combating is the reasoning that goes into the decision. If the reasoning that goes
the way it is, though, CBA is a CBA.
But that's what we're combating. If the reasoning for the decision is, oh, it's because he has to take less money, so the team can actually build a good team around him or something to that extent, to me and Swipe, I think that is a problem. The team should be able to fill out the roster accordingly and still pay Victor Wembanyama what he's worth. And again, to me, it's not about greed. Now, to me, just because the numbers get higher, but this is just my opinion, I don't change the employee dynamic. Is the employee getting the maximum amount of money that he's worth?
Fair market value.
Pure point blank.
Employees get
300. It is what it is. Like,
never mind, because I'm capping for billionaires.
Swiper, I think that
chill. Can I ask you a question before you go, Chill? Can I ask you a question, Chill?
You just did.
Oh, let me ask you another one. Let me ask you another one, Chill. Because I know you also, you know, you have a daughter, and I want to know, like, when she was younger, you know, before, like, when it was time for her to go to sleep, did she used to be like, man, I wish the sun didn't have to go down. I wish I could stay up. Because did you ever experience that, Chill, with just during like nighttime when she was like, damn.
She wanted to stay up a little bit later, sure.
Yeah.
She did want to stay up a little bit later.
I'll deal with that with my middle child, my younger son. He does that all the time. He's just like, dang, Dad, but why does the sun have to go down? That's just the way it is, son.
Oh, that's just part of it.
You know what I mean? So the CBA was signed by the owners and the players, not just the owners. Now, the CBA was signed by the NBA Players Association, the union. It was signed by everybody, Chill. The CBA is the CBA until it's not the CBA. So the sun has to go down, and that's just the way it is.
Right, I get that part, Ox, but don't think that for 1 second that just because everybody signed it, everybody's in agreement. Like when we have
why is there more onus, Chill, on the players to take discounts than Chill, and not for the owners?
Because I'm
just asking Chill real quick. Why is there more onus, Chill, in your estimation?
I don't want to go.
Why is there more onus on why is there more onus on the players, Chill, than to take a pay cut than it is for the billionaire owners to pay the luxury tax into $150 to $200 million? Because they have more equity and more money than the players do. Go ahead.
The reason why is because fans don't care about ownership. Fans don't care about the business side of the basketball. Fans care about players. And when they see Carmelo Anthony sign for $112 million with the New York Knicks as opposed to going to the Chicago Bulls for less money to win, they're looking at Carmelo Anthony thinking that all he cares about is the bread. So he's with ownership. Like he's one of those guys, as opposed to guys like Victor Wembanyama, who, by the way, Ox, you just talked about it, like he wasn't forced to sign in his deal. Please be clear. The brass from the San Antonio Spurs did not get on a plane not prepared to talk Wemby down. They went to Paris to talk to Wemby about what we could possibly do here. This is what we could give you right now. This is what you'll get next year. But if you took this money right now, this is what we can get if you took this money right now. And what it looks like in 5 years, you can definitely, especially if you're still here, now you'll be eligible for a Supermax. Now you'll be eligible for a Supermax. So they absolutely talked him into, I'm sure that they presented different options for Wemby. To your point, yes, it was up to Wemby to sign that. But to Swiper's point, I'm thinking to myself, these players, they listen. And they know for a fact that in order for me to be regarded as one of the best, because they care about what people think, including fans, they want to be regarded as one of the best. And the reason why they want to be regarded as one of the best, because they got egos. So if that's the case, if I take less dough, then that means that I'm going to have a better opportunity to win. Because as far as the masses, me winning, that puts me in space with other people. Now, if I take all of this money, you guys don't care that I got, when I'm 40 years old, that I got $80 million in the bank, that I got $150 million in the bank. I bet you when I'm retired, though, you do care that I was in the NBA championship 5 times in 6 years and won 4. You care about that. So if I take less bread and I'm in that space, that's how you're going to talk about me. As opposed to, really quickly, Ox, as opposed to if I'm taking the bread, which, by the way, to your point, is generational wealth. And I'm setting up my people, which is why I got into this in the first place.
Why you sugarcoating it for Swiper? Swiper, there's some things people like Swiper need to hear. There's some things like people like Real Talk need to hear. They want to live in this. They want to live in this. See, but that's the thing. See, a lot of times niggas don't know what they need to hear. That's why they need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So chill. A lot of times, cats want to live in this fairy tale utopia. You know what I mean? Why should the owners get more? Well, because the players need them. They don't need the players, chill. These billionaires would still be billionaires without the NBA.
They would not.
These billionaires came into this already billionaires. They didn't make the majority. So I don't need you to point out 1 or 2 people. The billionaires were billionaires before they bought these teams. Laughing doesn't make it not true. These billionaires were billionaires before they bought these teams. They
Shout out Genie Bus.
They
Genie Bus just hit billionaires.
See what I said? See what I said, Chill? The majority. I said the majority. You can of course, go ahead, pull 3 or 4 or 5 people if you want to. Go ahead. You can pull a couple guys, a couple people. You can do that. But they was rich, and they would be rich with or without the NBA. They would be rich with or without. With or without them. With or without these players.
Right.
Now, do they need these players to have basketball teams? Of course they do. Sure, absolutely. But I'm talking about the owners of businesses, the owners of most businesses. They'll find
real talk. You know what happened to the Warriors' stake once Steph Curry hit the books for the Warriors? They went triple platinum.
They was rich before Steph.
No, they were dumpster fire. Now, to your point,
they was rich money before Steph.
Now, the owner had money, but if you think about the teams,
they got more. Yeah, they got more. They got more for sure. I didn't say they didn't get more. I said. So just real quick, Chip, because I want to make sure that the people listening heard what I said. I want to make sure that Swiper didn't try just belittle what's going on with that corny ass laugh he's doing. The point I'm trying to make, Chill, is that the majority of team owners had this bread before they became team owners. Now, did it make them more money? Absolutely. But they were rich, didn't need to buy these teams. So why? If you're sacrificing, they're buying these teams for billions of dollars now. If I'm gonna put that into it, why shouldn't I? I'm making a major investment. It's just like that with most businesses. Y'all want the patients to run the asylums.
I'm not going to go that far.
This is not what this is. This is a business.
I'm not going to go that far.
This is a business. The only reason.
And
by the way, Chill. If this is Chill, because you're more seasoned in this than any of us, because you've been in this for decades. Because you're a fan of Jersey. You came out of that environment.
Shaq would have stayed in Orlando if Shaq would have stayed. He never wanted to leave Orlando. He would have stayed in Orlando if they would have came up with the bread that the Lakers came up with. He would have stayed there.
And then on top of that, Chill. On top of that, if you don't want to, owners, and I'm with you, right? Hey, it's not fair to the players. And you know what, owners, you are billionaires. So real talk, there shouldn't be any cap, right? Because you can pay whatever, right? It's a free market, supposed to be, at least in America. Real talk, Chill. You're baseball fans. Can you give me what happened to Shohei Ohtani's contract? This new $700 million contract that he signed, Chill. Do you remember the details?
Yes.
Real talk and Chill of that contract?
Yes. So he signed a $700 million deal, but the money was deferred.
For how long?
$680 million got deferred, Chill.
For how long?
Money got deferred for like
till
10
he
years
retires.
Oh yeah, I thought it was 10 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So
but
he's
he's in his early 30s, so he probably won't. He probably won't play the entirety of that. Go ahead, Chill. Go ahead.
So he's making like a
$2 million a year.
It's like $1 million or $2 million a year for the existence of his contract, something crazy like that. And now what's going to ultimately happen is, I think when that money kicks in, then the Dodgers have to pay him. But the money
they have to pay him $680 post retirement.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm asking is, Chill, if we want to have maneuverability, why not just take the cap off, like the MLB does? They have a very soft salary cap. They can pay whatever they want. If you got it, you can pay for it. The Dodgers, the Yankees, we can pay as much as we want. The Rangers, we can pay as much as we want. So why not have it that way then, Chill?
The reason why we can't have it in the NBA, and I would love to have it that way. The problem is that the owners, their issue is that it's not fair. Their issue is that, my team is in Minnesota and my team is in Portland, so I can't afford to pay what you pay in New York. I can't afford to pay what you pay in Chicago. So we have to have a salary cap, because otherwise you would get all the players and there would be no need for Portland. There would be no need for Oklahoma City and teams like that, because we really can't compete in an open market. That's why we have to have a salary cap. You know what I say to that? That's a you problem. That is not a me problem. That is not a me problem. That is a you problem. Move your team then, because if Oklahoma City isn't it, and we have to have a salary cap in order for you to compete with me, that is a you problem. I've never subscribed to that ever, and I never will subscribe.
But
to that.
Mars, when you was listening sometimes, did you ever hear me say that Wemby should have took a pay cut? Okay, I just want to be clear that you never heard me say that these players should and are mandatory that they take pay cuts. Nobody heard me. Nobody ever heard me say, "Hey, Wemby, take a pay cut," or Jalen Brunson, take a pay cut. I never said that. That's kind of what it sounded like.
You did not.
Yeah, but see, we should stop trying to read between lines and just listen.
You did not say that, but Chill kind of insinuated it when he brought up the what am I going to be remembered for? Is it the money or the championships? Again, implying that somebody needs, in order to maximize your winning, you need to take less money. To me, that should not be the responsibility of the player. In my opinion. I'm not saying you did. I'm not saying you did.
Just talking to the chat. I'm talking to the chat. Now,
real talk. Keep going, real talk. Keep going, real talk. Keep going. Because what I was gonna say is, so two things can be true, and I absolutely agree with you. When I come here, I am on the San Antonio Spurs payroll. When I get on this group with the Minnesota Timberwolves, I am on the payroll. I am not the guy who's writing a check. I get a check from whomever it is. Mm-hmm. They got people in the finance department who are the bean counters. That is not my responsibility. No, it isn't. But what I'm not insinuating, what I am saying is that players recognize what their legacy is going to be about. So a guy like Wemby, who is regarded, and one more time, Swiper. I'm sorry.
Talking to Rod.
Like I was saying, so players like Wemby, who are regarded as a future best of all time, what is going to make him get into that category? Well, I'm going to have to win. Well, in order for me to win, I am going to have to take less money, because I'm going to have to, which shouldn't be, to your point, which shouldn't be his responsibility. But in order for me to get there, I am going to have to take less bread. Contrary to popular belief, Jordan did the same thing. The reason why he did the same thing was because he was making money with Nike. So he was getting that bread in other places. That's why Scottie Pippen, even though that deal was bad that he signed, that's why he was able to sign that deal. That's why they were able to go out.
But Kobe and Shaq are two of the richest NBA players ever. They have 100%. 4 or 5 championships that Shaq was all about getting his money. You know that.
Which is why he left Los Angeles. which is why he left Los
Exactly.
Angeles. Yes.
And then he went and won another championship.
Well, then-
why did he go to LA, Chill?
Okay, he went to Los Angeles for more bread, 100%.
Okay, then.
Okay, but chill.
That was before Bean, though. Real talk. That was before.
But
Chill
wasn't.
But chill in
came
real
around.
talk though, with that same thing in mind, because we didn't finish this conversation last week, and Ox, I know you have an opinion on this. Do we understand why the aspiration situation is so severe for the league now, given what we're talking about right at this current moment?
Yes.
Like, did that make this that much more egregious? Like, from a contextual standpoint, Ox, that they were circumvent this very conversation with Kawhi Leonard? This is the whole point. This is why penalties will be levied out, because you circumvented the cap purposely to avoid even doing this. Kawhi said, I'm not taking a damn discount.
Allegedly.
No. Well, we know he got paid through aspiration. That's not that's not
through aspirations, but
and we know he didn't do anything to earn that money either. Like we saw the contract.
We also know that
we saw that it wasn't.
Sure. Anyway, and I don't want to go back to this talk because you feel
allegedly.
Cool.
Well, it's close. This is America.
No, because that's not what the investigation is trying to find, by the way. But that's a whole other story. So some of this is chill. If they're cheating, which is cheating, circumventing the structure, right, that we put in place.
Absolutely.
Like, then obviously the NBA owners, they know, damn, it's kind of tight. This is kind of tight. Maybe this CBA isn't all that good, but you know what? But then some of us were rich enough. We got enough connections. We can just circumvent the salary cap anyway. I'll just pay Real Talk back. PC, I can't afford to pay Real Talk, however much per episode. But you know what I can do? Hey, Johnny Two Shines over there in Indiana, they got this Cunningham Club. When I was in Indiana last week, Real Talk, it's all the restaurants and stuff that are connected. They got a secret room, secret meeting place, and all that kind of stuff for all the rich folk. I'm going to pay Real Talk through the Cunningham Club as a PC check, even though on YouTube with all the other NBA shows, we got a salary cap in place. You know what I mean? That's cheating. I got a premium quality talent like Real Talk on my roster, a number 1 overall draft pick, and I'm paying him like a 7th round draft pick. That's interesting. Chill.
Hey, Real Talk and swiping. I just got to ask y'all a question, and Ron, Chill, Mars, everybody. I got to ask y'all a serious question, especially since Real Talk so eloquently pointed out that the dollar amount doesn't really matter much, right? It's still the same in principle. Yes. In principle,
is there, then yes.
In principle, yes. In principle, right? So I'm curious. I have a question that's totally related to this, because I get accused for capping for billionaires just because I'm thinking logically. I have the ability to think logically. So I'm capping for billionaires, right? I'm curious to know. For a big group of working class Americans, people that make anywhere from $35,000 to $85,000 a year, regular life, hard-working, blue-collar, working class Americans, why is it celebrated to cap for 100 millionaires? Like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Real question. If you're capping for people that make 500 million. And you slander me for capping for billionaires? I don't understand why. My question is, why are y'all allowed? Why are y'all allowed to cap? I'm asking, why is the chat allowed to? Why are these 5? Well, Mars doesn't say anything, but why are these 4 up here allowed to cap for millionaires that make $400-500 million? But y'all jump on me if I cap for people that make a couple billion. To working class Americans, 500 million and 5 billion is the same thing, right?
Wrong.
I'm trying to.
Wrong? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad.
That ain't the same thing.
My bad. Real talk don't see the correlation. It's like Ron says it's not bad.
To be honest with you, again.
They in the chat actually saying, no, we're going to keep capping and slobbering multimillionaires.
Well, I think I can speak pretty clearly, and I'm sure Real Talk and Chill can. I'm pro worker, period. Like in the period. Like I don't think workers. I think in the reality, workers
did they not work for their billions?
No. No, not in the
You don't
same way.
get
at
to-
all.
some-
Like, you don't-
Somebody did. Somebody did.
Yeah, you don't
somebody
get to
were.
But well, you want
You
to go
don't get to $1
abnormal-
billion 9 times out of 10 without exploitation.
Yeah, but you want to go to
happening
abnormalities
somewhere.
now because you're saying
that's
you want.
another
You just said you don't want to go to
conversation
the abnormalities in
And
the
now,
NBA
and now
ownership.
they're still exploitating.
So while
They're still
while we do
exploiting.
this, while we do this with the
I'm
billionaires,
exploiting you by giving you $250 million when you could have signed for $300.
you're exploiting a
Nah, they're
market with
exploiting.
rules. Well, hold
Nasty.
on, Ron, because you're not adding anything to the conversation right now, Ron. You're just trolling the whole time. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
no,
like,
you're not adding
You're
shit.
trolling. You're trolling.
Matter
You're
of fact,
just trolling.
Ron,
You're trolling. You're just trolling.
matter of
Thank you,
fact,
Phil.
Ron asked
Do
that.
to him what you did to me last week. This is well deserved,
Yeah.
by the way. What I'm saying is that on the other side of this is Ox, you have shown the propensity, even in when it comes to like the American market, that you think that employers they should pay whatever they can pay, and like
No, I think they
Go
should
ahead.
pay a fair. I think they should. I don't think you should just be able to pay whatever. I'm in agreement with raising the minimum wage and all that. I think workers should get paid more than enough to live. You know, what you looking for? Oh, my bad. I think you should get paid more than enough to live. I'm not for just giving employees just barely enough to scrape by. I've never ever even insinuated that, Swiper. I'm for fair pay every
But
time,
that's
all the way
relative,
around.
right?
But
But
I
that's-
also don't think that the workers should be getting equity. I don't think the workers should be demanding that I should make this much because you make that much. I just don't think that's the way life works. If I started this, if I built this brick by brick,
So you don't believe in capitalism.
I believe in what I believe in. I said that earlier. I didn't claim to be a capitalist. I said I'm just a human. You call it what you want. I don't gotta put a label on this. I believe that if I start a company and I build this shit brick by brick and I hire people to come on, you don't need to be worrying about how much this company is making and how much I'm taking home, as long as and if you do, go work somewhere else. Because that's just not how this thing works. And that's as simple as that.
The NBA, the NFL, these leagues exist and have the value that they have and get the TV deals that they have because it is a well-known fact, or it is a belief that these leagues contain the best players in the world of this occupation. That's why also.
But what happened before that? Real talk. Why do you keep skipping? Don't skip ahead.
I'm not skipping anything.
Who built the league? Who paid for this shit? Who invested in this shit?
Dr. J, if I'm not mistaken.
The players and the owners.
I thought you were silenced.
But everybody had to invest early on, including the players that were out there playing for little to no pay. They had to have second jobs and play in the NBA because they weren't making any money. The owners weren't the only ones laying the groundwork for players to make more money. That is an absurd claim to make in the first place. I want to get back to
you don't get no zigzag. You don't get no drag drag.
Swiper, did the NFL, because I remember there was a time in which the NFL had a strike that took place, correct?
1987.
Now, you probably have more nuance and education about this than I do. Did the NFL take a hit because of the strike?
Of course, the NBA did too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is my point. This is even going back to the point I was making about paying the top 15 to 20 players the supermax when we were talking about that, because there is value. Again, the league, the NBA makes the money that they make. They get the TV deals that they make because they have the best players in the world. So the Victor Wembanyama is a staple as to why the Spurs or even the NBA in general gets a $3 billion deal from TNT. LeBron James, Steph Curry, all of these players are contributing to the NBA, rising in value year on in, year on in, year on in. So yes, this goes to a broader point than just out their individual team. They, of course, need to be making more money, which is also why it is a bad precedent, because you see a player as good as Victor Wembanyama taking a pay cut, and then Jalen Brunson just did it. So now this could actually become an
LeBron and them did it in
expectation
2010 too.
for these other teams, and that is also a concern if you are a player, if you're an agent of a player, because guess what? You know this. Hey, I I'm making commission off what you sign. So that's affecting my money, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like
you know what I hope
the players. Go ahead.
You know what I hope, real talk, and I seriously mean this. And this will be great for the players, great for the people. I hope that they just, practice group economics, get their money together. Especially these players like that that are making all this money and recently retired, the Carmelo Anthony's, and then these young dudes are getting this money. They need to put their money together and cut these owners out and build their own league, bro. We
already been down that road. We tried to do that during the lockout.
Well, you can try again. They're getting more money now, chill. They're getting more money now. They got more recesses, more.
So you're saying like what the WNBA did?
To be honest with you, I
similar to that. And then they can run the show, and then they can make sure that
but to be fair, that is why the WNBA salaries went up too, because they
said, well, I mean, but the WNBA salary was already headed that way anyway. It just it takes time. It takes time. It takes
they were making 8% of the salary cap.
I know, Swiper, but it still was, the negotiations were still coming up. It still takes time. Like it still takes time.
I'm agreeing to your point though, because I think an arrival would help them move towards the 20% mark. I don't know if it would have got there because they're making $200,000 a number.
Right. Well, it's still going up. My point, regardless, forget about that, is that if I just want the players to be able to start their own league and do something similar, so that way nobody ever has to take a $50 million pay cut again.
I don't think that you.
In that way, since when they're in charge, they'll have it all figured out. No salary cap, no nothing.
And even if that's true, and to be honest with you, it would be great education for these guys. And the reason why I say that is because, and I'm not capping for billionaires, but to Real Talk's point, these players are the ones who contributed to growing the league. These players are the ones who contributed to making the Boston Celtics a $1 billion organization as opposed to what it was 10 years ago, right? LeBron James contributed to what was going on in Cleveland. However, as I'll use Dan Gilbert as an example. Ox, just so you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers aren't the only ones who play in this building. Like, we host other things. Like, I'm responsible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm responsible for keeping the lights on in this place. Like the dude the guy who sweeps the floor, the guys who put the floor on, I'm responsible for paying them. The guys in Madison Square Garden, when we got a game in the afternoon and then the Rangers play at night and they got to flip the floor from being basketball to ice, I got to pay those guys. Those guys get paid by me. Like, you, as the artist, you just show up and you perform your art. Me, on the other hand, I'm responsible for all the other stuff. I got to keep the lights on in here. I got to take care of everybody. That's me. Now, who are the ones who are the most expensive to me? The laborers. That would be the players. Sure. So I'm paying Victor Wembanyama $250 million. Now, if I can pay him $200 million as opposed to $250 million, yes, I would definitely sit down and talk to him to see if I could get him to do that. That's just business. That's just smart business to do something like that. However, Victor Wembanyama, to your point, this is why we haven't seen Jalen Duren sign, because the Detroit Pistons know that they hold all the cards. He's a restricted free agent. And his agent couldn't care less about what's going on in Detroit. He wants to get his client the most money possible, the most money he can possibly get him. So I think that it's a give and take. I don't think that the players are, I don't think that the owner is more important than the players, but I also don't think that a player who in the NBA where a shelf life of 4 years is more important either, because for every Jaylen Brown, for every Jason Tatum, for every Victor Wembanyama or Luka that we have in the league, I got 10 guys who aren't going to play past their first contract. And I'm responsible for those guys. I'm responsible for taking care of those guys.
See, chill. Here's the problem here, because now Swiper and Real Talk got people in the chat talking about the players are slaves.
Swiper and Real Talk ain't got people saying nothing about no.
Y'all are so influential.
People.
Y'all are so influential. Y'all got people calling.
You don't like people putting words in your mouth. Don't put words in me. Swiper. I ain't say nobody. I don't compare anybody to slavery. That is crazy in my opinion. But $250 million slave is crazy. But what I will say though is, I think the players driving the value of the league back to they were rich before the teams, and who was like setting the league up for success, and why are they making all this money now? The NBA is so tied to players, direct players impacting the growth that this is even different to me than different leagues. Chill, like the NBA was on tape delay. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird come along and they change that whole dynamic. They are on live television again, quite literally, not because of some owner, not because of owners switching some up. It directly tied to players. The game then goes global. Why, Chill? Because of Michael Jordan. The league, again, the value of the league is directly tied to a player.
Yeah.
So yes, the players specifically in the
I still got to
NBA,
give you that platform to perform, though. Real talk. I still have to. I still have to give you the platform to perform. I still have to give you the facilities to be the best that you can possibly be.
What I'm saying is who is driving the value of
absolutely
the league.
that
it
100%.
is directly tied to players.
Yes.
So I'm saying like, oh, I'm not giving no employee notice. To me, I don't know if this is a hot take. Michael Jordan should have some kind of stake in maybe a 0.5% of damn near every franchise in the NBA. I truly believe that. He was that important to the NBA. And LeBron James may be the other player that deserves that as well.
I don't hate that.
Are directly tied to the growth of the league. Without Michael Jordan, it should not happen.
Remember the other week we were talking. Me and Ron were talking like, yo, it would be dope to see like different ways of negotiating contracts. Like, I'm not necessarily equity, but definitely like profit shares. I understand the importance of players. That's why I've never said, once again, that I think players should take pay cuts or that they should be pressured to take pay cuts. Right. All I said was that Victor Wembanyama made a choice, and I don't think it's really as newsworthy as people are making it seem, because this young man understands, like, I'm still making life-changing money. I'll be able to take care of all my people and set them up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to. I'm an intelligent young brother. I know how to handle this money. I can still do things, and I'll be able to alleviate some stress from my franchise and in our quest to win multiple championships. I support him in that. Once again, if Victor Wembanyama would have took the Supermax instead of the max and took $300 million, I would have supported that too, because Victor Wembanyama is one of the very few players I think is worth that chunk of a cap. Mm-hmm. Like I was here the other day saying I don't believe that there's this many players that are worth this chunk of the cap. You know what I mean? But Victor Wembanyama is one of them dudes that absolutely changes a game when he's on the floor. So I wouldn't have said a word. I just don't think that we should be making such a big deal. I don't think this hurts the league by him taking $50 million less. I don't think it hurts the league at all. I think if anything, this is going to give the San Antonio Spurs the chance to do what Penn says they're going to do and be in contention for championships for the next decade. Absolutely. This is the same thing Tim Duncan did, and you see he never missed the playoffs once. He left with 5 rings. He's highly touted as either first or second best power forward. He's number 3 all time to me. So so that's all I'm saying, y'all. I'm not here saying that players should take pay cuts. I know what it's like being in that gym every day of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard work. It takes a toll on your body.
What I do wonder with Tim Duncan, if he's looking back on this now, would he had left that bread on the table, knowing what he knows today? Because again,
why not, you? What changed?
The reason why is because, to Swiper's point over here, if I can afford to pay you $250 million in a salary cap league, what am I making? Because again, I'm giving you $250 million. I'm not giving you $250 million, and you specifically, I'm only making $250 million. No, I'm giving you $250 million. So smart business would say that I'm making way more than that, especially over the life of this contract. So if this contract is another, I believe the contract was 4 years with a player op in year 5. So 4 years. So 4 years at $250 million. So 4 years at $250 million. So I'm really getting $200 million. The last $50 million, I'm going to leave that on the table because I'm probably going to sign. I'm going to sign an extension. So it's really $200 million. So if I'm paying you $200 million over the next 4 years, so $50 million a season, I'm not paying you $50 million a season to only make $50 million. I'm paying you $50 million because TV now has gone up, and the NBA and all of these media, so Prime, because this is the way that the NBA is moving. Prime, and in
Peacock.
addition to Peacock, all of these streaming networks. This is where the money is. So that's how I'm able to. That's how I'm able.
And then
to
if
pay
you as a fan can't afford to watch the game, the commissioner said, watch the highlights.
Watch the highlights. That's exactly what
most people only got time to watch highlights anyway because we're
not
working
dropping
class
the price.
Americans.
I say that to say that's how I can afford to pay you $50 million a season because of TV rights, because of TV exclusive. Because of TV exclusive rights, because of things like that. So I couldn't afford to do that. So to your point, when I'm thinking about a guy making that much bread, I'm immediately thinking about who's paying them and how are they affording to pay them. And if I can sign Victor Wembanyama to a 5-year deal for $250 million, and he's only going to probably play for those 4 years, which is $200 million, I'm making hand over fist what I'm paying him. So
but
I'm
still,
not
why you putting that? Why
you
you putting it on Tim Duncan though? Like Tim Duncan still made a decent amount of money for the time he played.
The reason
you know what I'm saying for the time he played. Now, if you're any player from yesteryear that's comparing their bread to what these youngsters are making nowadays, they're gonna drive themselves crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like Charles Barkley, if he's up here watching kids that he know couldn't tie his practice kicks, making 30 times more than he made, he's gonna drive himself crazy.
Dominic
you know what I'm saying? You know, so
Wilkins has said that about his kid. He said that if you was half as good as I am, you'll make 10 times more than what I make.
Right. And so that's
if you
just,
half
that's just
as good as me, you ain't as
that's
good
just
as me.
The way,
if you just half as good as I was, you'll make 10 times more than me.
That's just the way of the times.
100%.
So I can't see Tim Duncan beating himself up over taking pay cuts and winning 5 rings and you know what I'm saying, making the playoffs for 21 straight seasons or 20 straight seasons or whatever, you know what I'm saying, 19. I can't see, you know, and once again, I don't know Tim Duncan as a person, you know what I'm saying, obviously, but if he made that decision to have a great legacy and he still got paid, you know, good money for the time he played, you know?
And with that being said, I'm thinking about the shelf life of these guys. Tim Duncan, like all of these guys that we talked about, the all-time greats, these guys are exceptions. More than not, the majority of these guys aren't going to play that long. So I got to get what I can get while I'm here. My career is over. I show up to the NBA. I'm 19. I'm 20 years old. My career is over at 25 years old. Okay, so within the last 4 to 6 years, what have I made? Which would explain why these guys go broke. So if I'm in the league and I'm Victor Wembanyama, who's an exception and who's got the history that Victor Wembanyama has,
is he an exception? You about to get to it, Chill. But you said this all the time. You were the main one that you know raised the red flag on Wemby. Is Wemby made of glass?
Yes.
Is Wemby going to be able to play 10 years? That's another thing that we didn't talk about. We talked a lot about, you know, the sacrifice. We talked a lot about the owners and, you know, the way the CBA is built. Let's talk about how Victor Wembanyama is built. He got the heart of a lion, but Victor Wembanyama, you know, blood clots, other little injuries. He's 7'5", and you know, he one could say he's kind of, you know,
historically guys like that don't play that long.
Exactly.
Historically, guys that are built like Victor Wembanyama don't play that long. The only guy that I can think about off the top of my head who played that long was Jabbar. And I think Jabbar was an exception. I'm hoping that Vic can be an exception. And I'm already on record saying that if I could get a decade out of Victor Wembanyama, I am so straight with that. Anything after that is extra. But with that being said, these other guys, like I said, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, Joker, I think these guys are all exceptions. Even Jalen Brunson at that size, playing this long, getting paid that. These guys are exceptions in terms of playing as long as they play. So I got to maximize my earning power for as long as I possibly can. Because ain't no guarantee that I'm going to be here. In the words of Craig Mack, you won't be around next year. So I might not be here next year. I might not be here in 2 years. So I got to get whatever I can get when I can get it. Because in the words of the great Biggie Smalls, ain't no guarantee that they're going to love you.
That's a fact, Chill. And so you know how we're going to maximize our earning power? We're going to go to Splash Sports to make everything that we can make today. Who cares about tomorrow? Put it all on your quick picks today. And then we'll deal with tomorrow's problems tomorrow. And that's what we're going to do on Splash Sports today. And I got an amazing pick to make today. And I'm using Code Choice because when I use Code Choice, I will get 100% deposit match up to $50, and I will get 100% quick picks boost. But what's even more than that, what's even better than that is on Splash Sports, I have access to the highest multipliers in the entire industry. So when I go to Splash Sports, I can make the most possible money. You see the thing about Splash Sports, when you go to Splash Sports, you're not leaving money on the table. You don't got to deal with sketchy ownership and all of that stuff. You don't got to deal with no CBA stuff. On Splash Sports, you are making the super max that you can possibly make, because on Splash Sports, unlike anywhere else, you can make up to 50 times what you put in. And you know what? If I'm trying to make the most money I can make today, I'm not putting money on Olivia Miles. I'm not putting money on Marina Mabry. I'm putting money on Alyssa Thomas to go more on her PRA. That's just how I'm rocking. That's the main pick I'm making. On top of that, you could take whatever you want to take, but make sure to take the more on Alyssa Thomas's PRA. Scan the QR code on the screen or just click the link in the bio. Download the Splash Sports app. Use code CHOICE once again and redeem your 100% deposit match up to $50 and your 100% quick picks boost. We will see you guys in the winner's circle. Have fun. Make your money. All right, fellas, we got some super chats, so let's go ahead and dive into these right now. Salute to everybody that's in here. If you haven't liked the video yet, slap that like button. If you're not subscribed, sub up. And if you're not a member, what are you waiting for? Speaking of being a member, I got a shout out to the GOAT Cheese, man. Cheese came through and did cheese things, Cheese came through and dropped 20 Players' Choice memberships. So if you just got a membership out of nowhere, if it just fell into your lap, if it just appeared out of thin air, you got to thank Cheese for that. So salute to Cheese. Everybody spam Cheese emojis or spam Dub Cheese in the chat. Whatever you want to do, let's show Cheese some love, because Cheese is out here, just being the GOAT that Cheese is. Salute to you, Cheese. Appreciate you, my man.
What's up,
The
Mars?
next,
You got your. I see you got your lighting and everything together now. You was half dark, half light. I see you got it together. How you doing this morning, man? Your mic not even on.
Your mic not even connected. Wow.
It was like half dark, half light, like he had the angel on his shoulder and the devil on his shoulder.
Or Mars is troll enough to be doing and mic perfectly fine. So actually, I don't know if his mic isn't working or not.
All right, well, I got a $20 super chat from my man SMN R&DM. Shout out my man SMN. It's been a while. He said, I hate what Wemby's done. In reality, this bargaining agreement was something the owners agreed to avoid paying players. Now Wemby creates a precedent where it's expected of superstars to take a pay cut. Stars will be judged off this.
Yeah, I do think that. And if it results in winning, I think that it's going to move forward and guys are going to do it more. You see what happened with Jalen Brunson. Wemby's trying to win. So, yes.
Only the guys that actually want to win, Chill. Some people don't really want to or don't care if they do, which is perfectly fine. That's okay.
Ox, it's plenty of dudes that's in the league that couldn't care less about winning. All they care about, I want to play 10 years and make some bread.
Right.
And I'm out.
Shit, that's cool. As long as they show up and do their job every day.
That's it.
Shit, you got every right to do that.
There's plenty of guys in the league that look at this as this is just
you don't
a
have
job.
to sacrifice money to win. The Celtics, for example, who just won a couple of years ago, everybody on their team was paid. Tatum was paid, Brown was paid, Derek White was paid, Drew Holiday was paid. And now that's the reason why they had to blow that team up.
Yeah, they hit that sweet spot though, real talk. They hit that sweet spot, and on top of that, those contracts weren't kicked in 24. Jalen and Jason's, right?
Jalen's was not.
No.
Right.
He was
He had signed a $122 million extension. I want to say in 21.
So that bread hadn't kicked in yet. But still, like to your point though, I think there's teams that can still have players that don't take pay cuts and still win. You just got to hit that sweet spot, like OKC, like they
ain't hit no sweet spot yet. They ain't even seen it. That is coming for them too at some point.
Right.
Sure.
They're gonna have issues too.
Not this season.
Why you can't?
Not this season. I want to say next season, SGA's money kicks in. I think J-Dub's money has already kicked in, if I'm not mistaken. But SGA's
Well,
money
Dub, this
kicks
was
in.
year 4 for Dub.
So because if his money doesn't kick in, I think
It
his
starts
money
next
kicks
year,
in.
I think, because
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this is year 4 for him. He made all
And
NBA
this
in
is
year
what
3.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean when I talk about these guys. Like, this stuff becomes incredibly expensive. Ox, do you think that J-Dub doesn't think about his shelf life, especially considering the injuries that he's had? The injuries that he's had. Like, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to do this. I hope that I could play a decade. I hope that I could play 12 years. But if I can't, I got to make sure that I can get whatever I can get when I could get it.
I hope everybody is chill. I hope nobody's looking at Bron like, hey, I'm gonna play that long. I can guarantee.
That's not realistic to think.
Right. In real talk, what I think players should do, especially players at that level that actually are the guys that are gonna always have a chance to win because they're that good. The Giannis, Jokic, Wemby, SGA, Lucas, those type of guys, they gotta have that conversation with themselves. How many M's is the ring worth? You know what I'm saying? And to Wemby, I guess it's 50. You know what I'm saying? Some people's might be 20. Like, look, 20 million is the biggest cut I could take. You know what I'm saying? Or some people's ring might be like Jalen Brunson. What Jalen Brunson took like almost 100 M's less, like 90, right?
So you weren't listening earlier. I said that multiple times. So
113.
I don't think I was on the show then when you said
you were.
Mm-hmm.
You were in your feelings about
113,
what was happening. I might have
my
been
feelings
Kawhi
about
speaking.
what? I wasn't in my feelings about anything.
Yeah, it was 100. It's 100.
Now, what happens when you take the
Right.
pay
See,
cut
so
and don't win
so
a ring?
just because I didn't hear the exact numbers, so
See,
I
that's
was
the
still
thing, though.
listening
Real
to you.
talk. That's why, we've already talked about this. Real talk. that
He said they
these
think
guys-
he's a broker loser.
These guys are entities. And
What?
I still stand on the logic. I believe that these guys are entities. These guys are businesses. And as a smart business person, if I'm leaving this money on the table, how am I getting this money back? Where am I getting this money back? Now, don't get me wrong, Swiper. Steve Ballmer, he just was goofy enough. Yeah, he was just goofy enough to put it out there. There's things like that going on in the league. I'm
Allegedly.
pretty confident.
They know alleged stop.
There's
He
100%.
he hasn't been convicted yet.
They said
Because theoretically, chill. Actually, now that I think about it, Swipe. Theoretically, if every star player is taking a pay cut to win a ring, that still doesn't change the fact that one team a year wins a ring.
That's just one. That's
So
it.
now you just have a collective of players who could and should be making more money, not making money for a ring that one team at a time is.
But then on
giving.
top of that, if I'm taking a pay cut, are you good enough at your job to build a team? If I'm taking a pay cut, like how do I evaluate that?
Are you good enough at your job to get it done if I pay you all this money?
Yeah, you know what? Most people
Yeah,
are.
I am. That's why you're paying all
Most
this
of the
money.
top 5%.
But only one person gets the ring, real talk. So if
it.
everybody takes the max,
You
so
asked
you
me,
only
am
want
I
to look
good
at it from
enough?
one. You
I
only
am
want to
good
look at it
enough.
from one angle. What about from the other angle? If everybody pays everybody the max, if everybody goes into the luxury cap, if everybody has to pay $12 to the one they go over, and only one person gets a ring, then that's 29 other franchises owners that are getting whooped. But y'all don't care about that.
They're not getting whooped.
They're not getting whooped
They're
because
not
they
getting
got
whooped. My value,
the tax
the value
is
of my
insane.
the value of my franchise is just going up. What are you talking about?
Not
I'm
every
Cade
franchise.
Cunningham.
All
I'm
29.
Cade
What about
Cunningham. What are you talking about?
all of you
I'm-
talking about? You say all and then say ask one person. Like when I said not every, and you said Jeannie Buss.
Because I said the superstar,
Not everybody.
I said these superstars, these superstar players, and the star players, if they all collectively take a pay cut, it's still awarded one championship,
Which would never
at a
happen.
time. Yeah,
Yes, and if all and if all the superstars owning groups or whatever paid every superstar everybody the max and had to go into a luxury tax, there's still only one ring to go around.
But real talk, isn't that what you just
They still
said?
profit. The players still profit too.
But
They didn't have 250 million 2 years ago.
What I'm thinking about, real talk, is I'm thinking about the time. Okay, so yes, we live in a time where we've had 8 different champions, right? So with us having 8 different champions, there's a guy that's thinking, yo, we might have an opportunity to win this thing within the next year or 2 years tops. So maybe I will sacrifice some bread that we had that opportunity. Am I doing that if we got the Oklahoma City Thunder running the table for the next 3 years or the next 4 years? Probably not. Because we don't have an opportunity to win it. We just here. So I'm probably gonna have to get what I can get. As opposed to if we have this kind of parity in the league, some of these guys are looking at this going, well, maybe we do have an opportunity to win right now. Let's not forget, real talk, the San Antonio Spurs did not make the playoffs last year, right? So in the 24-25 season, they went from missing the playoffs to being in the NBA championship. So a guy like a star is thinking, well, maybe we can win it this year. We ain't that far away. So if I took $35 million instead of taking $50 million, that means that I could get somebody else in here, and this one season we could win it, but we have an opportunity to win it. And that's really all you're asking for.
But to me, I said this earlier, on another episode, to me, it's not the top 10, 15 players getting overpaid. Even if you correlate it to the Knicks, who just won the championship. Mm-hmm. Jalen Brunson, who to me is the clear best player on the team, I believe wasn't making the most money on the team per year this past season.
Wasn't most. I think it goes Cat, OG, then Brunson.
Right, so that's like the other thing. Wrong. It's not like the salary cap then like changes because a superstar player takes more. It just means you're probably going to overpay somewhere else. When they first signed OG Anunoby to that deal, a lot of people thought that was an overpay. When they first acquired Karl Anthony Towns from Minnesota, because Minnesota didn't want to continue paying Towns all that money, because I think, Swiper, if I'm correct, they made that move because Julius Randle was like making $33 million, supposed to like Cat, who was making, you know, an absurd amount of money. So when they acquired that contract, people thought, this is kind of crazy. Cat's kind of overpaid as well. So you still end up spending the money somewhere regardless anyway.
But you also have to take under consideration the teams that have, to Mars's point, Mars always brings up this point, I think it's a really good point, about maximizing your rookie deals. And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can fact check me on this, but Indiana, when they were in the NBA championship in 25, I think they were the 17th highest payroll. Okay, so if I'm winning on the cheap, I got to win now, because these contracts, I'm not going to be able to hold on to these guys. I'm not going to be able to keep these guys because this thing is going to get expensive. This isn't like what it was years ago where, again, you had dynasties. That's why what happened with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson actually worked, because they got Curry on the cheap early and it worked out. And then they were able to pay him later. But once they were able to pay him, this shit gets expensive. And it gets expensive fast. Same thing with the Miami Heat. Like after James, Wade, Bosh, after those deals were up, now how do we keep this thing going? Because now we got to pay these guys. And now we got to pay these guys.
Chill, it's really expensive to keep really good players, as it should be.
That
just is what it is. If you want good players on your team, you're going to have to pay them. That's why I don't even like that dumbass super chat Max said, if it's really about value, then Victor Wembanyama would be getting $1 billion and the people on the pitch be getting $80K. That's not how that would work, because the people in the NBA are still the best in the world at their occupation. So you still have to pay the best accordingly, because there are other leagues that will pay them more. So you have to at least compete. No NBA player would be making $80K when they can go to the Euro League and make $2 to $3 million. So you have to at least compete with your contemporaries. It's dumb logic.
Just because I'm playing in the NBA does not mean I'm just going to take a little bit of money. No, that's not the way that works. Especially when somebody somewhere else is going to pay me double or triple what I'm making here.
All right, y'all. The next super chat that I got is from DNE MLV. Sent through $19.99 and said, "We are definitely in the thrones of the offseason with talks like this. Got me watching Baba Miller highlights, thinking he about to do something. Any surprising players from the summer league so far for y'all?"
I think this is the thing that always bugs me out with you dudes is you dudes, all y'all want to do is talk basketball, which we do up here, which we 100% do. But then you want to put players on teams, which is not realistic, and you want to know why you can't do it. The reason why you can't do it is because you don't talk the business of basketball. That's the problem. These guys are making an absurd amount of money, and it doesn't work like it does in your video game where you can put Victor Wembanyama and Joker and Luka and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and whomever on a team. That doesn't work that way. So we have to talk about the business of basketball. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I want to shout out Osayi Osifo. He was the Denver Nuggets rotation big the other day that played, and he was phenomenal. In the 6 minutes and 47 seconds that he played in that game, we also had a dude named Well, I mean, obviously, Bryce Hopkins has played well. He's been scoring the ball at a fairly high level. I think that there's a lot of good players that are popping out all over the place. Obviously, just the main draft picks. I know we're going to get to that in a minute, but I just want to shout out some of the role players. Eric Stevenson's a shooter that's been playing for Denver that has played well so far.
Shout out Eric Stevenson. He from where he's from.
You know who that is?
He's from right down the street.
West Virginia. Went to West Virginia.
Yeah. Shout out Eric Stevenson.
Sure. All right. And then Ife Abogidi is another one. He plays center as well. He's been playing really well. So yeah, man, shout out to the true role players. And
these are all Nuggets players.
Yeah, the Nuggets Summer League players.
So you should have. So you just wanted to shout out the Nuggets Summer
They're
League.
not going to get shout out anywhere else, and this is the biggest platform I think they'll ever be mentioned from. So I just figured, that'd be a good place to get them do a shout out.
No doubt. Salute to all of them.
I watched Russell Westbrook get turned into a point guard coming out of college. He played the two. He played off the ball, and they gave him the ball when he showed up to Oklahoma City. Am I ridiculous to think that this kid Wagler is a two guard? He should be playing off the ball.
You're not ridiculous to think that, especially with the way he shoots. But I think put the ball in his hands and see what he can become.
I already got somebody for that. I got one of the most efficient league guards in the game. The only problem is his health. Darius Garland is arguably the best ball handler in the game, and outside of Kyrie Irving, it's not many ball handlers better than him. In addition to that, he can score the basketball with the best of them. He's one of the better floor leaders in the game. Love that about him. So I don't need another one of those. And on top of that, I'm paying him a lot of dough. I got this kid on his rook deal. So why am I taking the ball out of the guy who I traded for, the younger guy who I'm building around him? Why am I taking the ball out of his hands and putting the ball in this guy's hands when he might play better off the ball?
So why do you think that Darius won't have the ball?
Well, because I just heard Ron say about putting the ball in Wagler's hands. That's why.
Got you. Yeah, I'm sure Darius is gonna have the ball majority of the time.
I just see him. I just see Wagler. I see him operating off screens. I see him operating off flare. I see him reading the defense, especially as young as he is. And this is crazy. I know yes, Mars teases me about my age all the time. These guys, they're kids, man.
19. Yeah, he looks like a baby.
These are kids, man. I'm looking at these guys, and I'm watching Wagler read the defense, how he gets screened and then he flares. I'm watching how he comes off curl cuts, and that looks like a two guard to me. That doesn't look like a primary ball handler. That looks like somebody I should be running sets for. That looks like somebody that I need to get into action. He can play pick and roll and he can play pick and dive, and I think that I think that would be a good thing for him. But I think that he may operate better off the basketball than he will with the ball in his hands. Plus, I already got somebody for that.
Yeah, but I mean, chill. That still doesn't mean that you don't maximize what he could potentially be. Like, I'm not saying like Darius Garland, you can't have the ball because now it's the Keaton Wagler show or where we're trying to build this project. I think in both still, it's going to be times where Darius Garland's not in the game, and also it's going to be times where Darius Garland you could play off the ball too. My thing is like we don't know what Keaton Wagler can become. Keaton Wagler in 2-3 years can become a much better player than Darius Garland. Like if
I don't see that happening. Are y'all high on this?
I never said he will. I said he can become a better player than Darius Garland. A lot of y'all really aren't even all that high on Darius Garland, anyways. So I'm like, for me to say like
Darius Garland is really good.
No, he is. But I'm saying like Keaton could become. He could become what he could become. So I'm saying like
just because he's a better player than him, that doesn't. Anthony Edwards is better than LaMelo Ball. That doesn't mean that I got to give Anthony Edwards the ball.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I'm saying also, too, like when Steph stepped in and in 2 years, they were like, all right, Monte, you're good. This is our guy. It could be one of them situations where it's like, yeah, you're good with the ball, Darius, but this nigga's great with the ball. Sorry, buddy.
Was Monte better? Was Monte better than Clay? Or did they just see the future?
It was, yeah. They just seen the future.
That's what I think. I think they just saw the future.
At the time, Monte was better than Clay, though.
I think he was, to be honest with you, real talk. I do. Yeah. I think he was better than him. I just think that they saw
the future. Not finna disrespect the Mississippi Bullet.
No. Shout out the Mississippi Bullet. That was one of my favorite players. That We Believe team's one of my favorite teams of all time. But what I'm saying is like they clearly seen the future. And it was less about Clay and more about Steph. All right, we got Steph as our guy. We're putting the ball in his hands, which means we're taking the ball from your hands, Monte. Who fits Steph better? Monte Ellis or Klay Thompson. And that ended up being one of the most genius decisions of all time because Klay ended up becoming what he became as well. But I'm more so just saying, like, yeah, put the ball in Keaton's hands and let's see what he could do. And on top of that, you took him with the 5th overall pick. So you got to see about it.
Speaking of doing something, y'all know how I feel about the big man, and I think that Oklahoma City got it right with this big kid. I love the space.
Mars?
Yeah, I love the space that
He's gonna be sitting on that bench for a couple years.
Okay, he is gonna. He is definitely I think he's a project, but I like what I see from him as a big. I like the fact that he creates the space that he creates and how he finishes around the rim. I really dig that about him.
Bro, he stinks so far in summer league show.
No, you know who stinks? The guy from Brooklyn. He was garbage.
Who? Mikal?
No, not Mikal. Who am I thinking about?
Ben Sarf?
The whole roster sucks outside.
Oh, you talking about Wolf? Wolf?
My dog Ben was kind of getting busy.
Ben
He's talking about Drake Powell. He's talking about Drake Powell.
Garbage, Mars. Trash. Straight trash. Can't make a shot. Can't create. Can't defend. Why is he out here? What is he doing on the floor?
They drafted him in the first round.
That right there, Ox, is a waste of a roster spot. Like, we could have got somebody else. We don't need that dude on the crew. We could have got somebody else.
Strong, Chill.
And replaced him.
He's a baby.
Drake Powell, I hope you're not watching this because Chill just hating on you. So.
Absolutely. Like, we wasted a roster spot on him. I know who we didn't waste a roster spot on, Ox. And all I'm going to say is he's in Chicago. I know we didn't waste the draft. I know that. I think we might have got. I'm not gonna jump the gun here, real talk. You know what I mean? And you know I ain't the gloating type because that ain't my style. Because I know how quickly things can turn. But I can honestly say, if I'm talking to the front office or if I work in the front office, I can call people and go, "I think we got this one right." I don't think.
Yeah, shout out to Ash, man. He was the one on X campaigning for Caleb to be a big wing, and I was like, I don't really see it. Does he have the perimeter chops, the perimeter skill? Then he goes out there and shoots 18 for 20 from 3. I'm like, okay, well, shit. Maybe he does.
That's as many threes as he made all year at UNC.
All year in college. Yeah, I did see that. Now, Chill. I think you said, and I said this as well to Morris, but of course Morris isn't going to give me the credit. I said Caleb Wilson had the highest ceiling in this draft class.
No, I didn't say the highest ceiling. I said he was going to be the best player in the draft. That's what I said.
That's two different statements. Yeah,
oh, that's two different things.
I said he's going to
but I still think that Caleb Wilson has the highest ceiling in this draft class. Mm-hmm. That is an amazing prospect. And if he can shoot the ball, I mean, my goodness, with the athleticism, the defensive motor. Oh, man. Yeah, he's special.
He don't look like a baby to you?
Him too?
He got baby fat on his face still, bro.
Him too.
Yeah.
You talk about Caleb?
So the
by the time he gets 5 years from now, bro, he's gonna look like a man, dog, like a full grown man, bro.
That game was ridiculous.
Run the 3-ball and
Bougie was hooping too, Mars. It wasn't even like Bougie was going crazy.
Cool. He good for him. The shots Caleb Wilson was making, that was ridiculous. Yeah, he came out. He made one off the dribble 3. I was like, okay, interesting.
Right from the jump, Mars. Boozer got a bucket, and then he came back, hang dribble 3.
Yeah, okay, cool. Interesting. He ain't do that one time all year in college, but salute to you. And then it gets to a position, like, he ends up taking like 3 back-to-back threes. And I don't, like, all off the dribble. Like, he's shooting sidestep threes. I don't know where that came from. Shout out to him and the work he's putting in. But even if he doesn't make a 3 for the rest of the summer league, this game alone was just insane. Like, I expect some regression to the mean, like, at some point. Because, like, you're not going to shoot 70% from 3 for your life. Mm-hmm. But doing that in one game is ridiculous. So,
and this is where and again, I know we live in the 3-ball era. That's why I wasn't that impressed with the 3-ball. The thing that I was impressed with was, 1, the Chicago Bulls coach continuously running stuff for him. 2, him continuously attacking. I love him shooting the ball, going to his weak hand. I love that. And I like his motor on defense. I remember saying that I had this conversation with you guys last year about Carter Bryant. Like, Carter Bryant doesn't really look like he knows what he's doing, but he's in the space that he's supposed to be in. Like, that's kind of what Caleb Wilson
Carter Bryant playing in summer league, Mars, but not Derek Queen.
That's still
Book
dumb to me
needed it,
too.
To be fair, but yeah.
Yeah, that's still dumb
I
to
mean,
me
Carter
too.
Bryant need to be in summer league.
All
Yeah, I
everybody
agree.
below him need to
Both
be
of
there.
them. Both of them.
think Carter Bryant is
I
playing.
agree.
He is.
Yeah,
He did. He
yeah,
played in
yeah,
one
yeah,
game.
yeah.
He played on. He
Kinda
played on.
Y'all better
Saturday and
respect.
then Sunday.
Y'all
Derek
better
Queen, you don't need no damn summer league.
Sengun.
You,
Yes, he
you
does.
above that.
Respect who?
Colored Sengun, Derek Queen. Hey, he's gonna be
Colored
fine.
is
man.
colored is crazy.
It's awful.
Colored Sengun. Man.
That's awful. No question about
How
it.
was that awful?
Yeah. that was great.
Who else has been?
Yeah, well, hold up though, Swiper. For the people that don't know, Caleb Wilson, he hit the 7 threes, but his 35 points is the most in a summer league debut. That
He would have
was
had more if he would have made some free throws.
how many? What did he shoot from the free throw line?
2 for 6, I think.
Damn.
Which is compounded by the fact that 2 of them were on 3-point fouls, which means he could have had an extra 6 points if he would have made 2 more free throws. So, could have had 40 if he just hit some free throws. And they would have won if he and the rest of his team would have made some free throws. So, if he addresses that, that would be nice. But yeah, he was amazing.
My question is how are they going to use him in Chicago? Because I see a damn good one-on-one player. I think I see a really good rebounder. Josh Giddey being the passer and playmaker that he is, I think this kid can, kind of like how I felt about about Brandon Miller playing with LaMelo. I think this could be that plus 10. I think he could be that, playing with him. I'm hoping that Josh Giddey can stay healthy because I think that the Bulls are going to be competitive if he can. And what Caleb Wilson showed was, Mars, just because you ain't see me do it, don't mean I can't do it. Just because you ain't see me, just because you don't know that I got this, doesn't mean that I don't have it. So yes, I am nice with the pill. And like I said, the 3 ball doesn't really impress me that much because I know at some point, me going, I don't know, 3 for 6 at the long ball line, 4 for 8, that's going to turn into 2 for 7 and 3 for 9. So that doesn't impress me that much. It's the other stuff that I see with him. I keep trying to tell you guys that I equate it mentally to Jimmy Butler. And the reason why I say that is when he walks on the floor, ain't none of you dudes out here better than me at what I do. None of y'all dudes.
He definitely has a air of confidence about him, but not like arrogance, but it's like
no.
It's like, I belong on the court, which I think is necessary. He even talked about Chill how he wasn't able to do maybe all of what his skill set had in college because he was doing the UNC thing. I do think that basketball is probably of the 3 major American sports the one lagging behind the most in translating the college game to being more like the NBA game. Like Darren Peterson also talked about this, how in Kansas he was, having to play one kind of way, was kind of off the ball, things like that. And then he gets, to Utah, gets drafted, and now he's playing how he's used to playing. He has the ball more often, stuff. So I do think that happens quite often from college to the NBA with these players. And also, Chia, I do want to just very quickly, because you bring up Josh Giddey a lot, and I think you're kind of how just Giddey. This doesn't have to be anything. This is just very quickly. What is your hand gap of Josh Giddey and LaMelo Ball? I just want to see something.
Oh, wow.
I think he's better than LaMelo. I just trust him more with the ball. I do.
Your guy Toby Awaka sucks, Chill.
He's awful, Moss. Holy shit.
He
is terrible.
He's
another one taking up a roster spot.
Yeah, it was one game.
It was a rough time.
Hopefully he's
another
Whoa, chill, just for clarification, because I know Real Talk's trying to put you in a bind for another worst take of the year.
I'm not putting.
I know Real Talk. This has
You
been a
did set him
very
up a
good
little
show,
bit,
and
Real Talk.
us 3 have worked well together. I know you're not trying to pin yourself against Joe right now. I'm saying, and we've been fighting the oligarchs and Ox over there. I'm saying that in this instance, though, when it comes to this show, you're talking about March 2025 Josh Giddey, that Josh Giddey, right? Because not in order, all around Josh Giddey. But you're saying Josh Giddey at his apex is better than LaMelo, right? That's what you're saying.
I think I trust him more with the ball. I think that Josh Giddey is on par with LaMelo as a distributor. I think LaMelo is.
Well, Josh is a really good passer. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair, y'all. That's fair.
I think that Josh Giddey, I think he takes care of the basketball better. I think he's a better downhill guy. I think he's better at the rim than LaMelo Ball. I think he's a better shot taker. I think he's a better shot maker. LaMelo's better than him on defense. I think he clears Giddey on defense. I don't think it's close, if I'm being honest with you. I think that
well, Josh can drive, to be fair, y'all. Josh is a good driver.
Those two guys are leaps and bounds.
I wonder how close the numbers are.
Leaps and bounds apart. Just
Yeah,
watching.
LeVar gonna get you for this.
Oh yeah, it's up for you.
He already got you.
I did see that clip. Chill. Shout out to you. Salute.
Yeah, we already had a conversation. Anyway.
That's why you saying this, to try to get back at him. That makes sense.
Oh, I see the video.
Can you let
Okay.
the people know what they're talking about? Can you at least just tell them what happened? You're doing this nonsense. Just tell them what it is, because people might not know.
Okay, so I
He's
went
terrible at this. All right, chill, LeVar Ball, Carson, and then what was the other dude's name? Chill, that we met in LA. There's 4 of them. They were having a debate, and it was how long was the segment? An hour?
No, we were up there for about 2 hours.
Okay, what is the platform called?
It's called Clash. It's on House of Highlights. Yes.
House of Highlights Clash with LeVar Ball.
Free promo is crazy.
Because he gets in this gimmick where he doesn't want to tell anybody what he's doing. I'm saying that on this show, you got an argument with LeVar where Mars said he cooked you. I thought both of y'all made weird, midpoints, but you were talking about his shooting, and then LeVar talked about his aura and overall leadership and what he was doing. So that's what you were referencing.
Well, don't those things go hand in hand? Because that's what I feel like that's what we were talking about. Do you want a good leader, or do you want somebody who can make open shots? Well, don't those things go hand in hand? Because Chris Paul was a great leader, but you know what else Chris Paul could do? He can make open shots.
Leader and couldn't hit the side of a boat.
That's what I'm talking about.
For majority of his career.
Who?
Rondo. Rajon.
That's a myth.
Frenchman. That 100% is a myth, because Rondo could absolutely.
No, Rondo could not shoot in his prime. I don't know why we got to pretend.
That's a myth, but keep going though. Keep going. We can go past that. Who cares? Who cares? It's really not a big deal. Who cares? He's not in the NBA anymore. Let's keep going.
Okay, so
we're doing the Dennis Johnson thing again, huh?
No, we're not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? Rondo's a bum anyway. Just keep going.
No, nobody said. What's up with you lately, man?
Nobody said
What's up with you, man?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm trying to tell y'all, they got their ass kicked in that championship.
Ron, first of all, Ron, we have won. Wait, because look, we have won 3 championships in a row and just got second place. You think I care about losing one game?
Yes. It's okay to care.
Actually, yeah.
But look, no,
look at Gifted.
I don't. We lost in the championship by 4 points. It was a hell of a game, great game. But that's irrelevant.
All I said, more of your negative self than you have been.
I'm not being negative. That's based on perspective. That's based on perspective. You think I'm being negative because I'm disagreeing with you. And you know what's really going on here? I'll tell you what's going on here. I only got so much love to give to y'all individually, and me and Penn just formed an alliance a week or so ago.
That's why you acting like that.
It's taken a lot of me to be fully aligned with Benjamin on all takes. You know what I'm saying? And then now that the trade was on the verge of being rescinded, I wasn't sure exactly how that alliance was going to go. So you know what I'm saying. With that being said, Swiper, I'm not being negative.
You have been more combative than normal. Is it?
I'm not being combative. I'm just disagreeing with you.
You were combative last week. You're combative.
I was disagreeing with you.
You were very combative with Swipe. I saw that.
I was disagreeing.
And you were cutting Swiper off every 3.
So what? I cut this nigga off all the time.
But you don't do that in real life, though. That's what I keep telling y'all. Ox is a fraud. Ox is a fraud. Ox doesn't do this in real life. He doesn't stand on business like this in real life. He gets help. Ox sends for help. He calls for APB. He sends for help.
I'm soft. You're right. I'm soft. I'm soft.
No, I'm not that good. It got nothing you being soft. It's not about you being soft. You don't do this in real life, is what I'm telling you. Stop doing this online.
We don't do
Right now,
this
no,
in
no.
real
Hey,
life.
guess what?
This
Guess
is
what?
fake.
Real talk. Right now,
This is
remember-
TV.
No, wait. Real talk. You know how he talks about people behind screens, all this stuff. That's what you're doing in the last week. That's what
Okay,
you've been.
wait
That's not your
a
best
second.
self. That is
Wait,
not your
what'd you
best
say?
self. That's not your best self, Fox. Just
Wait,
bring
no,
it-
wait, what'd you say?
bring
I
it
do
back
what?
down. You be hiding behind this screen with all that negativity you've been putting out there. I'm saying you don't do that in real life. So just bring it back.
God.
That's all I said. Bring
Oh,
it
can't-
back.
you're right. My bad.
I can't
my bad.
co-sign.
You're right.
Listen, I cannot co-sign that because based off my real life interaction with Ox at that Domino's table, he was the same. I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give Ox that. I will.
Shit, because he was hiding behind the
No,
ball.
but Ox been different with you since
Should I
you hit
catch
that-
both of y'all?
since you
Should I
hit that
kick
jump
both of
rope,
y'all
bro.
ass that
Rod,
day?
Rod, stop the cap.
And I kicked both of y'all ass that day.
I was busting
That's
your ass
not
at that
true,
table, bro.
nigga. What?
Right. That's a
we
lie.
get-
I'm happy. I'm happy.
So
I got
to
my
answer-
boss a lie.
to answer your question,
I'm happy.
Oh,
I'm happy
my
that these two
goodness.
liars are
I bet
Here we
together.
go with
I
this
bet I
shit,
put it
bro.
in five.
Swiper.
Can we get?
I won the most that night.
Real talk. You want some?
Swiper? Can
We
we
can
get
for
back to
sure
what we
play
were talking
dominoes.
about?
What?
here?
Oh, what the? Oh, my
Can we
goodness.
do that,
Man.
Can we get back to where
Man,
we
they
were?
say you niggas down south can't even count to 5.
I know one thing.
Oh,
man.
wow.
I know an East
Wow.
Coast nigga don't want it with me on this
Damn.
table. I know that.
Who you talking to?
Yes, Drago. We are currently on pause
Anybody
right
who
now.
the shoe, hey, anybody who the shoe fits. I ain't even worried about no South niggas.
But
I know
can
an
we-
East
can we-
Coast nigga don't want it.
So
Can we get
Yes.
back to it, Swiper? Can we get back to it? Can we talk?
To
Can we get
to
back
answer
to the
your
ball?
question, we were talking about Josh Giddey and LaMelo Ball, and I said that I trust Josh Giddey with the ball in his hands. I think the biggest problem with Josh Giddey is that he's been injured. I feel like that's the biggest problem with Josh Giddey more than anything. If he could stay healthy, I think that I would get a much more, especially in that Chicago system. I think I would get a much better lead guard than what I'm getting right now. Much better.
Yeah.
I do like Josh Giddey, but
I like Josh a lot.
I think when Kobe White was there, he was the second best guard on this team, and I think he's a good player though. I think him and Caleb and Jalen Swain and Matas and obviously Nick Claxton is going to be a really good squad. They still got Jalen Smith coming off the bench as well. Like they will be a good team. Will be a good team for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ultimately, I'm excited and gifted. I would like to hear how you feel about Caleb Wilson, but ultimately, I'm intrigued. Well, everybody's intrigued, so I can't just say I'm intrigued. I'm assuming everybody's intrigued based on that 35. Once again, he did that playing against Cam Boozer, the guy they got picked one pick ahead of him, and Cam didn't have a terrible game or anything like that. It's just Caleb had an out-of-body experience. But
Yeah,
what I'm
Caleb's better
intrigued
than
about,
Cam. We get it.
what I'm intrigued about, I'm not even going there. And I said, by the way, I said this in October. Y'all know I've been here with Caleb Wilson's better than Cam, and you know the levels that he's on. So this is nothing new for me. I've been here. But what I'm saying is, I'm just intrigued to see what he looks like in his next summer league game. Because how Mars said, like, I'm almost positive he's not going to score 35 again and make 7 threes.
I cannot wait for the game tonight versus the Jazz, boy. I'm
that's who they
hyped
play?
for it.
Darren's
Tonight,
not
yeah.
gonna play. He just played yesterday. He's not about to play it back to back.
Oh yeah, he probably not playing back to back. That's
They
good
got
for
it.
him.
What are they
If
doing?
he does, that's a pleasant surprise. But I highly doubt he's playing.
Well, you don't want to.
This is a
That's
summer
fair.
league problem though. Like,
That's fair,
and
that's fair.
I know
They have a
some
lot of
people.
players.
There's a lot of back to backs. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that, Swipe. But here's my thing too. Like, I know some people will say, "Oh, it's just a summer league. Don't worry about it." I think that the NBA should prioritize making the summer league a bigger draw than what it already is, and in doing that, that's when the number 2 pick is playing the number 4 pick, and you know that they're playing against each other, and you know people want to watch these two players play. Prioritize that game. Don't have them play on a back-to-back night. Have them play.
So we really talking about? Are we really sitting here talking about dudes playing on back-to-back at 19 motherfucking years old?
No.
Is that what I'm saying?
No, chill. That is a problem too, though.
Make sure I'm
Chill.
bugging out.
That is a
Chill.
problem too.
It's not up. It's the Jazz are gonna hold him out. Like it's not. We're acting like it's a Darren Peterson problem. Teams are not gonna play their number 2.
And that's dumb.
No,
I'm not
chill.
saying I
It's the
agree with them.
roster. They're
not
trying
gonna
to find
play
the
their
other
number
guys to
2
fill the
pick.
roster
They're
out too. It's
they're
not just
gonna-
about them.
They're not gonna play their number 2 pick in a back-to-back in July. Like they're just not gonna do that in a game that, for all intents and purposes, means nothing. Like they're just not gonna do that. Whether or not we agree with the principle, whatever, like they're just not. And we should know that, and then they should make the schedule accordingly.
Yeah.
Like everyone up here knows Darren Peters.
Right.
More than likely, like he might play tonight. And that sort of doesn't overall change my point. But he might play tonight. But assuming he doesn't, we should know not to schedule marquee matchups on back-to-backs in summer league.
I agree
Like,
with that.
that's-
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
just
Right.
common
That's
sense.
dumb to do that.
That's a
You
great.
don't have
That's a
him-
great point,
If
Mark.
they want
Yeah.
to do that, at least just make the Jazz Bulls game the first game of the back-to-back, so he can play that one.
Exactly.
And then play against the Clippers. Ooh, like,
Yeah.
Don't
That's
have
fair.
don't have Utah play Washington tonight and then Memphis tomorrow night, or Utah play
Right. Right.
Washington tonight and then play Chicago tomorrow night. That's dumb. Yes.
it's not that
But-
hard to schedule.
But again, they're trying to also chill. We already know what Darren is. We've seen him multiple times now. If he doesn't play, we need to figure out, okay, well, what are the other guys that we actually want to invite to training camp and see if we can fill out the back end of our roster as well, or who are the gems that we find on the teams too. Like, you don't want to, if you just have one player out there constantly, there's a lot more that goes in the summer league than just, which y'all know. I'm not saying y'all don't know, than like just getting your best players out there to go put up some, some shots and learn the offense and all that kind of stuff. It's just
the Jazz
Yeah.
have no gems on their roster.
maybe
Not in the summer league. they don't.
1,000% they do.
maybe
Yeah,
they
it's been
have
great
some guys
in
they
summer
might like.
Not in the summer league. They do not. In the summer
There
league, they
was
don't have
Also,
any
the
gems.
evaluation is still more accurate with Darren Peterson on the court, because I feel like these are even the guys that you do invite to camp and stuff like these are going to be like, margin type of players. So it's like, oh,
Right.
are you good in closeout situations and stuff like that? It's not like handing a player the ball and being like, oh, let's see what he can do tonight, when he's not going to be playing like that on your roster. If he does make the roster, it's kind of moot in my opinion.
A little bit pointless. That's fair. I haven't given my thoughts yet on Caleb Wilson, which I'm happy Ron said that. Caleb had a great game. It's hard to watch for things sometimes for me personally, because I think the summer league is very variable. We've seen many players have fantastic summer leagues and be bad players. We've seen some have awful summer leagues and be really good, right? I think the one thing with Caleb that will translate is the intensity. I'm falling for the sound bites. I can't lie. Like he had a great game. His first words were, "We lost." Like he really, really, really wants to show people that he can impact them, their entire team actually going to win. And he said that he's taken 2,000 to 2,500 shots a day right now. I don't know how real that is.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's not that many. No.
Yeah.
Now remember,
It's not that many. That's a lot of shots to me.
Yeah, for
But-
pros, that's not that many.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
You
he
say
said-
I know you've never been in the gym.
No,
That-
I
that
mean,
is-
that
that is-
has nothing
I don't
to
know
do
about that.
That's not a. Why is it a dig at me? That's a lot of pros take a lot of shots.
Swipe.
Taking 2,000 to 2,500 shots.
That's a lot of shots.
Yeah, no, that is.
I'm not saying. I'm not.
That
I'm
is
not
a
saying
lot of
that's not-
shots.
It is, but I'm saying it's a lot of players do that. JJ went on a whole spiel about how many shots he took a day. Like, I'm saying
but that's like a
lot of
shooter,
players do
though.
that.
But even when JJ said his,
I know, y'all.
JJ's wasn't.
I know, Ron.
JJ's wasn't
I know.
2,000 shots.
340.
Yeah, that wasn't 2,000. Swiper, I don't think. I'm telling you, from the days I was on the gun in
No,
college.
I know. It is a lot of shots. I'm
500
not
shots a
saying-
day is a shit ton of shots.
That is a lot of
I
shots.
know,
bro.
but I'm saying that there are
As a matter of
multiple.
fact, this nigga's lying. He's not shooting no 2,000 shots. He's lying.
I don't know if he's lying. I
He
don't think
is
he's
lying
I don't
his
think he's
ass
lying.
off. But he might go 2 different sessions. But if he does, that's ridiculous. He's literally shooting for 4 hours a day. Literally.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And most of the time, you're not shooting for totals. You're shooting for makes. You're not even
Right.
counting the.
He
Well, at least,
can't
Good point,
be doing
too.
2,500 makes.
No,
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
at all.
so-
No,
I mean,
I don't
no.
know him
Of course not.
personally,
Of course not.
but-
Of course not.
Imagine though. Imagine if he all right, 2,000 makes.
No way.
I'm out. Nah,
If he
it's
is,
no
then
way.
he's
Wait,
hardly
wait.
working NBA
So
I don't think
2,500
he didn't. I don't
shots.
think he inferred that either.
No, he did not. But Ron,
No.
so 2,000. So if I'm taking 2,000 to 2,500 shots a day, like you said, that's not 4 hours straight. No, I'm going to the gym early. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I'm getting some treatment. I'm getting some rest. I'm going back again. I could be shooting all day. I mean, that's not ridiculous. to me.
If he doing that, but
Yes,
shit,
I'm
I'm
not in
telling
the
you,
gym 4 straight hours. No, your
But the-
body physically, your body will
Yeah.
allow you to do that. No,
but then also
Like-
too, though, you got what else is he doing as well? Because he's not just shooting. Like I'm assuming he's in
Right.
the weight room. I'm assuming
Yeah,
he's
you
getting
gotta-
cardio in. I'm assuming he's working on his handle.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's doing
Yeah.
other things. So like to do
Yeah.
all of that on top of 2,000 shots,
yeah.
I just find it hard to believe.
Listen,
if he is,
I'm
more
only
power
saying
to
that
him,
point,
though.
Ron. Right. I'm only saying that as I I do believe that he does work on his game at the very least, even if it's not 2000. Like clearly, a player that wasn't shooting threes in college to have had a performance where it's not just catch and shoot. Like in that game, he was taking like pull up, step back threes. Like that was happening for him. And I think more than that, it's like his athleticism on top of that. Like I've been saying this. I think me personally, I think Cam has like the best like skills overall. I think Caleb probably has the highest ceiling of the four, at least in my opinion, if everything hits because of everything he can do. But it's only like a 1 game sample size. I do want to see more. In that same game though, like Cam Boozer be doing shit where it's like that's just great feel as a player, man. I like Cam Boozer a lot more now, honestly. And we don't know exactly. Yeah, I don't know exactly who's going to be like the best in the rookie year, but I do think the big four, like any of them could have the best year this year. I think that's possible in my opinion. I do.
To me, it wouldn't surprise me the least bit if Cam Boozer ends up having the best rookie year. Because he's probably the most like NBA ready, I suppose. And he's going to have the opportunity to, I don't know if he's going to end up being the best player from this class, though. I just don't see the superstar in Cam.
He's going to be a very good passer. But he's going to be a very good passer and scorer, though. He already is.
Specifically. And the reason why I want to talk about real talk here is because if real talk, I want you to think about the situations that these guys are in. So AJ DeBonsta is going to this Washington team where Trae Young's going to have the ball. We're going to have Anthony Davis a lot in the offense. We're going to start running more things for Alex Sarr. This is almost a 20 and 10 guy that we had last year. So he's not going to have the ball in his hands nearly as much. That's number one. Darren Peterson is in Utah. He's not going to have the ball because George is going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Yeah. We're going to get Lauri Markkanen involved in the offense tremendously, right?
You got Triple J over there now, too.
You also got Triple J, who we're going to get him involved in the offense. We got the
and you got Bryce Sensible off the bench. Yeah,
absolutely. So I'm not sure if even though I think Darren Peterson is perfect for what they're doing in terms of fitting in to that system as a starting 2 guard. Now let's move over to your point. Right? Let's move over to your point. So now I'm moving to Memphis. Like, who do we have? We got Wells, we got Edey, we got Coward, we got Wells, Edey, Coward, and Boozer. He's probably going to have a lot more opportunities with the ball in his hand on that group than both DeBonsta and Darren Peterson. Same logic I feel like with Caleb Wilson, because Caleb Wilson running with Josh Giddey. I think Josh Giddey's going to get him involved in the offense, but you got Mataz over there. So you don't really have a lot of options outside of these guys. So again, I'm thinking about what their role is going to be when they actually get to their crew, because we already know what their role is right now, playing on a summer league team with 95% of these guys. Who, by the way, some of these guys are really good, but more than likely, these guys are not going to make the roster. That's what I'm thinking about, real talk.
What can end up happening, Chill, is a very similar situation or dynamic that happened last year. So, like, AJ could potentially be on this really good team and contributing to winning, and the Washington Wizards are playoff bound and stuff like that, and he's fulfilling a role similar to Con Knipple, but then like Cam Boozer is probably on a much worse team, but he's able to have like these amazing or outlier performances more often because there's more opportunity to fill up some stat sheets. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
like
similar to Cooper Flag.
Where we saw 50
Cooper Flag,
from him and we saw 35.
Stuff like
Dallas
that.
I don't even think that's crazy. I just feel like for him, like outlier, like I think what he can do is something that's very repeatable for the entire season. And to me, that wouldn't be outlier. I think the problem people have is that they don't think the ceiling with Cam is that high. But I think if you can process the game at a high level and you're like the youngest player in the draft, I think your ceiling could be high. I don't know. Like he shows some real promise, man. I do believe that. Yeah. Yeah, Cam.
Cam's been excellent in every game he's played in. Like So I think for me, Cam is like very easily showing why he's going to be so good.
It's just he got outplayed twice by the dudes that are supposedly in his tier, and so
cool. I mean, I'm not saying cool to y'all, but like cool to okay, good, cool. I think that like Cam transitioning to the NBA, He's going to be more powerful than a lot of people he's playing against. He's going to be more skilled than a lot of people he's playing against, and he's going to be able to play at that high post, low post, and he's a good shooter, and he has a good handle. Now he doesn't have the what's old boy that Yaxel. Like Yaxel has a legit handle as a 4, but I think Cam has a really good handle. He's strong and he's fast. Like I think
he can shoot though.
Yeah, he's a
that
good
shot
shooter,
is real to me.
Real good touch. Yeah, I think Cam is going to be a monster this season. Like I think all 4 of them are, to be fair. All 4 of them.
Yeah.
And with Cam, his margin of error isn't what it is with DeBonsta in Washington. It's not what it is with Darren Peters, because I think Utah is going to be good this year. I think they're going to have a good team, and I think I feel like with a guy like him, that unit isn't that good. So he's going to have an opportunity to make more mistakes and recover from those mistakes, as opposed to a Washington team where they're going to be good, and AJ's margin for error. They trying to win games in Washington. Like they got other plans. They got to deal with Sarr. They got to deal with AD. They got to deal with Trey. So if AJ doesn't come in, if AJ comes in and he's not completely woven into the system immediately, and he's doing things like turning the ball over a lot at a high turnover rate, like that might be a problem moving forward. Like he might not have the opportunity to have the ball in his hands nearly as much.
I think Trey being next to AJ isn't bad though, because you're giving him a guy that can like find him as a play, I would say, finisher, especially in transition. I do think the 3-ball for AJ, I just want to see like how good that's going to be, because so far it hasn't been the greatest in summer league. However, the thing that will translate though, like that him as a play finisher is really well. I really like the fact that he can get to the free throw line this early. Like normally, if you can really do that at a high level, you're going to be able to have a really good year. I do want to see like the passing, like how that continues to grow and develop. It's going to be a very interesting year for him, but I do like him as a prospect though.
Now, when you say, I was about to call you real talk. I'm sorry, Gifted. Now, when you say passing, what are you looking for when you talking about a distributor?
The frequency to throw skip passes, if the defense quickly collapses, how quickly he makes that read, and if he can run a lot of primary pick and rolls, like, you know what I'm saying, all those things.
Sure. So basically, so how quickly he reads the defense, how quickly he can get the ball out of his hands, like if he gets blitzed. Because to be honest with you, young guys, I always expect young guys to falter when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing when I'm dealing with blitzes. When I'm dealing with double teams, especially at that level. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to put guys like Caleb Wilson. I don't want to put these guys in space where I got them doing things that they shouldn't do. Like I got a primary ball handler on the team in Josh Giddey, right? I got a primary ball handler on the team in Trey Young, right? And when I got guys like that, I'm not asking Caleb Wilson to be one of my better distributors. I'm asking him to be a play finisher, to knock down open shots, to be able to play in pick and roll and pick and dive. But most of the time,
good on defense. Yeah.
Not just be good on defense, but also when I'm playing in pick and roll and pick and dive, I'm the pick guy. Like I'm gonna have the ball in my hands, but for more times than not, we're trying to get the switch where you're diving or you're popping, and then we got a smaller guy switching on you, and you go after him. I'm not really looking for him to be my playmaker. I already got a guy for that. And maybe that's old school thinking, right? But what I don't want to do, Gifted, is I don't want to put the guys. The only way I can maximize my guys is by putting them in space where their skill set gets maximized. And I'm not making them do stuff. I'm not making them do stuff frequently that they shouldn't have to do, if that makes any sense.
I get you for sure on that, yeah.
Turn your mic on, Ron.
Yo, Jay.
Hey, Ron.
What's good with you, brother?
What's up?
Man, I want to ask you.
DBG cast up here.
Which cast?
We got the DBG cast up here. Jay, and Gifted, man. Shout out to y'all, man. I didn't realize we were getting rolled over. We got Yamcha and Krillin in here, man. Shout out, man. Shout out to my boys, man.
Who is Krillin?
Ooh, Krillin.
I missed the reference, but I feel you. Respect.
We know who Krillin is. But Jay, though, I want to ask though. So out of the big four prospects, Just based on what you've seen in the summer league, how would you rank them right now?
I will go Dan Peterson, AJ, Boozer, Caleb.
Is this based on what you've seen or just how you view them as players? Like how they've played or how you view them, if that makes sense?
I'm a little biased to how I view them as players, but also I think that Darren Peterson had a really good summer league. The turnovers don't really bother me. I think that AJ is awesome, so I think that it's like 1A, 1B right there for me. And then I will go Boozer and Caleb, but I'm a little biased to Boozer and Caleb. So we'll see. I mean, that's just how I rank them personally. But I think that outside of the top 4, I really like Yaxel. I think Yaxel is doing amazing.
Yaxel might save my life, bro.
Yaxel,
I'm just really concerned about his defense. Like on offense, I'm like,
once he starts playing defense, once he starts playing some defense,
he looks confused.
Hey, defense hasn't been that great. Yeah.
No.
But he's saying he's not in shape right now. Yeah, but he's saying he's not in shape. So
he's not making good defensive decisions though. Like he looks like when the ball gets thrown to his man or off a screen, he looks like he is kind of guessing like what he should do next. And I'm a little concerned.
He wasn't great on defense.
That tends to be a thing when you're out of shape. As a prone to be out of shape person. When you tend to be out of shape, a lot of what you do because you try to anticipate things so that you can limit the amount of movement you have to do. So like say you're closing out, right? I can't speak to a basketball lens of it, but I'm gonna try and translate it. Like say you're closing out, but you're expecting someone to try and like drive the closeout. You're gonna anticipate that and try close out short to begin with. So that when he tries to drive the closeout, he just runs into it
already there
instead of having to chase him off the line. So you try to like see things multiple steps ahead. It just so happens that tends to not work. But that's what you tend to do when you're out of shape. You try to predict things as opposed to reacting because defense tends to be a very reactive thing. But you don't want to have to react because then you're having to move left and right and all this. So you just want to try. Okay, he's gonna go right, so I'm just gonna sit on the right hand. But then when he goes left, it's like, oh, I'm fried. Look, man, if I was optimistic, I would say that I still have issues just with his defense in general. But him being out of shape, I do think is a part of it. Yeah, like he's too upright as a defender, way too upright.
Yeah.
But
I might be too. Yeah, I might be too hopeful as a fan of the team, but I'll say this: it feels so refreshing knowing that he can just shoot the ball. Because it's like in all of his games, no matter like how bad he shot in his last game, he shot a 3 over a 7'3" guy. Like he can shoot the 3. And I feel like most of our players are like project players that are athletic and it's no like he at least shows that, okay, I can block shots at the rim. Like I can play some help side. Like I do feel like that's something that can grow as he gets more and more used to the NBA speed, but he's still athletic. He can still dunk in transition and he can shoot threes. Day one, love to see that. That's going to bode very, very well, at least for his offensive upside, which I do like. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the defense can be figured out.
I think that he got covered up.
That's the optimism.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
Michigan, if I'm not mistaken, I think Michigan was a top 5 defense last year in the country. Like they had a really good defense, and I feel like
a lot of that was due with Day Mara and Morris Johnson.
Yeah, well, that's what I was. That's what I was going. True. I feel like I feel like Yaxel was on a group where he was insulated. Like I feel like they protected him a lot more than we would like to give them credit for, because a lot of the stuff that he had going on in terms of big guys or in terms of guys going by him. Well, I got Mara behind me, so I could just send you into the big guy. Well, the Golden State Warriors don't have that. In fact, that's one of their biggest problems. Okay, they got Draymond. Yes, they do. But they don't. One of their biggest problems is their lack of size. So that means that I got to stand in front of somebody and I got to get in the stance and I got to get my feet moving. I got to get my hands busy because I don't have Mara behind me or the other big guy that the Mavericks drafted.
Morris Johnson.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm sorry. Like I don't have that behind me. So because of that, now I have to play defense. So I don't think he was great when he played at Michigan defensively, but I do think that the upside of him is him being an adult. And I feel like contrary to being a kid,
I mean, he acts very childlike.
That's because
he's a
great vibe, yeah.
No, but he was like that in Michigan. Like you see, like all the clips and whatever. Like he just has fun, man.
Like, TikTok a lot, Twitter a lot, yeah.
He's down near 24, absolutely. But he acts like everyone. He acts like the 18, 19-year-olds in his dropper.
He's happy, Mark. He's in the NBA.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, no, I don't want to misconstrue that as me saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
He's old. He's older in age, but like mentally, like he
Mars
He
would
feels
tax a
young.
player for smiling. That
Physically,
was
he
something Mars would
physically he
tax a player
seems to
for.
be more
Nah,
adult. than
people could do what they
than-
want. That's why I stand
than
on the
everybody
side.
else.
He can do whatever he wants.
So,
Listen,
But
all I'm saying, Ron, is that as a Warriors fan, my bar is: are you better than Kuminga? Dead ass. That's all I'm like.
he's older than Kuminga, I think.
Offensively, he's
Yeah.
better than
Crazy.
Kuminga.
He definitely is. So
But I
hey,
think he's better. I think
Kuminga
he's a
better
better player than
athlete than him,
Kuminga.
though.
I think he's a better player than Kuminga.
that's all I need.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yo, Swiper.
What?
Before we get into these super chats, there is something that you did want to kind of touch on with Gary Trent's new contract. He signed up, what, a 4-year, 64 million?
Yeah.
Gary Trent, averaging all of, what, 8 points?
Yep.
He making more than Rui.
Yep.
So my bad, Joe, saying that they ain't gonna be paying players like that more than 14. I ain't know the Bucks existed.
That shit
My
happened.
bad.
Gary Trent
I
said,
was
hold
still
my
right
beer.
about Rui's. I was still right about Rui's money, but my bad. I didn't know teams were still doing this in 2020.
Yes, they are.
My bad.
That's
I'm going to
crazy.
apologize on that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's crazy you said Rui. He got paid more than a guy who was way more comparable. Landry Shaman got what?
6?
Yeah,
I think 6, right?
Whatever he got. And he
He
shot
got
better than
double
him,
that.
averaged more. He played more meaningful minutes. Like, I don't.
He got John Collins money. I think John Collins got 17.
That's what you call his money. That's the dude that just the Harris played with the
Yeah,
Detroit
Tobias Harris.
Pistons. Yeah.
That's AJ
Ah,
Devanza
yeah,
money.
Yeah, he got that money.
I mean, yeah, it's rookie AJ money. Yeah, it's Wemby is making 16 and a half this year.
So crazy.
What?
Yeah, Wemby and Gary Trent making the same game. Their paycheck gonna be basically identical.
We know Wemby has outperformed that contract. Stop the bullshit, yo. Come on, man.
Has he?
Okay, Gary Trent might outperform.
What
that
has he
contract.
won?
You don't know.
What has he
Yeah,
won?
He
what
won
has
a
he won?
unanimous DP.
He won the Western
That's
Conference
it?
Finals MVP.
Even
Okay.
if he did,
That's it?
For IG.
That's
I know
it?
Western Conference Finals MVP. For IG.
That's
I know
it?
All NBA first team. For IG.
That's it. What does that mean? What does
And
that
a
mean?
unanimous
Wait,
and a
hold on.
unanimous
What does
DPOI.
that mean? What does that mean at the end of our lives?
Name another rookie. Okay.
It means that when
What? What he
Swipe
on?
was being disgusted. But Swipe,
The Gary Trent, it was a handshake deal 2 years ago when he signed that. Essentially, we're not going to be able to pay you the first 2 years. We need to get your bird right. So you give us 2 years, then we can sign you to an extension similar to what Denver could have done with Bruce had he stayed another year. It could have been a 4-year, $62 million deal. They could have signed him at that point, or well, it would have been totality $62 million. So maybe like 50 something. I can't remember what the exact number was. But yeah, in this instance, it was clearly a handshake deal where they said that, hey, we'll make sure you're right on the other side of it. It's not like illegal per se. It kind of is, but it's not. But it's definitely it's a circumvention in and of itself. Like, but we paid you. But like, if you look at the contract,
Is it ethical? Is it ethical, Swiper? Is it ethical?
No, it's not ethical. But it
No?
is something.
If I say to you,
I
so
don't
Swipe,
know
if you say
problem with
in
that.
2
It is
years-
ethical technically.
Well, just because something's ethical isn't ethical doesn't mean it's illegal. If that makes sense,
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah.
you know,
I
Absolutely
don't
on
see
that.
how it's unethical, but I mean, it is what it is.
Me neither. Like,
it-
why
it's,
is that
it's
unethical?
very unethical. It's very the idea is
Circumvent
that
the cap.
yeah, like we couldn't pay you, and then we're gonna pay you 2 minimum deals, and then basically on the other side of this minimum deal, we're gonna front load. We're going to basically backload $64 million worth of income when you're nowhere requisite of that kind of player. So it's like, but that's
So who is the who's ethically being
Please
wrong?
tell me where's
well, no,
the
because
problem?
it's if
Because in my understanding of ethics,
Mhm.
there has to be a loser. Who's losing?
Well, whoever wanted to sign Gary Trent because they didn't want to agree to those terms. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be an open market for the player,
I can
especially
assure
if
you,
it's a
I can
bet.
assure you,
No,
there was no market for Gary Trent.
No,
no, there was.
nobody want to pay. Nobody want to pay Gary Trent that much money.
No, time out.
I can guarantee. I can guarantee that right now, Swipe.
Don't let Mars do that.
Guarantee
Don't let
that.
Mars do that because he won them a game in the playoffs. There's plenty of teams that would have liked to have more in the Patriots series.
Not at that price tag. They didn't.
No, that's the whole point. Nobody was going to pay him that.
And that was 2 years ago too.
I know, but he did it twice though. It's the whole point.
Coming off this season.
No,
you think
you didn't say that.
Gary
It was
Trent
2 years. He signed 2 separate years. 2 separate years he signed. So both of those years, it was a handshake agreement that, and year 3, we're going to give you $64 million. So essentially, Mars, he's getting $70 million from this organization over a 6-year period. And that's what the long-term deal is, essentially.
That's crazy.
So that's what I'm saying.
It sounds like Gary Trent's winning.
That's what it sounds like.
But it's not, I think what y'all getting, it's not about the player. It's about the team. The team, they're not supposed to do that. That's the whole point. Otherwise, you could say
another team could have stepped in after that 1 year and said, "Gary, we're going to give you the max," or "We're going to give you."
They didn't.
We'll give. I know they didn't because nobody wanted them.
Because nobody wanted that.
But nobody.
Yeah.
But in particular, though, like it's going to be investigated. So obviously, there's a problem. I'm saying on the other side of this, though, it's like it's very clear what happened, and everybody in the league is looking around, including the people that reported the deal. Because when Wendy and them got calls immediately, like, "Yo, what just happened?" Everybody knows that you made a deal 2 years ago that this was going to happen. The problem is, it kind of is illegal. The issue is because it's still a circumvention of sorts.
Right, but what's the difference between this?
But what have they circumvented?
They circumvented the cap by
the question that I'm asking.
They didn't have the money to sign him when they signed him.
They circumvented the cap like the previous 2 years. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Because
what happens is if you make an agreement like with the player, like so essentially, Mars, if I say, "Hey, I canally can't sign you right now, but essentially I'll pay you $7 million."
I can sign you. I can't sign you to this month.
So is Shohei Ohtani's contract?
No, that's MLB. They don't have those rules in the MLB. But yes,
but rules aside, I'm asking just the morality of it.
Well, I don't know. It's not morality. Like
no, they didn't defer the money laws because he didn't sign the deal. No, they didn't.
No, it's ethics.
Who?
No, you said ethics.
Well, I'm saying there's rules though. There are rules within the NBA that this is not supposed to happen. There are no rules in MLB that can happen.
So you can't negotiate a future contract?
Hell no.
Why not?
How can't you do that?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Why not? Why can't you do that?
Everybody can do that.
Can you show me the black and white?
They rooks all the time.
I need to see the black and white on this.
That doesn't make it not illegal.
Break out the rule book, Clifton. Break out the rule book.
That's what I'm saying. Show me the black and white where it said it can do that.
How about this? You all give me some time. I can do the research for that part, but I can't do that off the top of the dome. I can do some CBA stuff.
Right.
But no, yes, absolutely.
I don't think all rules are about ethics. So
sure, that's fine. And you're right. All rules are not moral. Dr. King said that. We 100% agree with you. There are moral laws. Absolutely. But I'm saying chill in this instance. If they told you 2 years ago that we'll pay you $64 million 2 years from now, and essentially dissuading the market, because at that point the market might be like, "Hey, Mars, you might disagree. I'll pay him $5 million a year because he's a free agent." That's the whole point. Like, I have $5 million, I'll pay you $5 million. Another team, I'll pay you $7 million. But he's like, "But you ain't gonna give me 64. If I stay here, they already said I'm gonna get $2-3 million deals, and then I'm gonna get 64 on the other side. I'm getting $70 million for my time here." Wow. They basically, and they're also hamstrung, Mars. You got to remember the Bucks were hamstrung by the Dame Lillard nonsense. Yeah, and then with the Miles contract. So they're also saying that once we get off of Giannis's money, once we clear out these books and all this stuff, hey, Gary Trent, we'll love to have you around here for the next 6 years. And your agent had to come to agreement. And that's another little part of this. The agent had to be in cahoots with ownership for this to happen.
Agent was doing his job.
No, that's not
getting his client money. That's what the agent's supposed to do.
That's not. It's not legal.
We'll sign a 1 year deal, and then we'll sign another 1 year deal, and then you guys give like a swiper. I get what you're getting at, but if
the NBA investigates it and comes up that like this is what happened, you realize there are going to be penalties for that.
I don't understand why it would be penalties for us.
They circumvented the cap.
How did they circumvent the cap?
I just explained it to you.
No, I get. But
I don't have a problem with
everything that they did was legal.
The problem is, Ron, that
they didn't pay him under the table. They didn't pay him under the table.
They did pay him under the table. That's what this whole thing is.
How did they pay him under the table?
If you make an agreement 2 years prior to pay you $64 million,
NBA Rico,
regardless of performance, regardless of injuries, regardless of all that stuff, and on top of that, he sucked this last year. He was terrible. He should be on a minimum again. But so
no, that's not okay. No, that's not fair. You think that, Swiper? You think that? They don't think that.
The NBA thinks that.
They don't think that.
The NBA thinks
not
that.
the
What are you
Bucks.
talking about?
So he averaged
Not the
9
Bucks.
points over the last.
They ain't gonna pay. They're not gonna play him like a $16 million
I just wanna make sure that
player.
I'm following you, though.
Oh, they're paying him though.
It sounds like you don't want Gary Trent to get paid.
Not what I
All I'm
said.
saying,
That's what it
OJ,
sounds like.
What I said.
That's
if
crazy.
I'm playing
Wait a minute. Are you not
I thought
supporting
you-
black
you wanna
business?
see young blacks getting money?
You're not gonna support black
No, I
business?
tell you what, I don't support this black
Wemby
business. We got 6
million
black
in
Americans
Oh,
up
he
here.
not supporting black
We got 6
business.
black Americans up here talking nonsense. Both of y'all.
Interesting.
This whole episode-
Interesting.
You want to see French brothers getting paid, but you don't want to see American brothers
I
getting
can deal
paid.
with
Let
that
it be a
person.
Serbian player.
He stays in the corner quiet most of the time. Now you over there in Seattle.
I see what's going on.
You're the problem. Your people are the problem. You and more people are the problem.
I see
So,
what's going on.
so Gifted, I want to make sure that I'm following you guys correctly.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
currently under contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. And you Gifted, as the GM says to me, the deal that you plan under right now, you plan under this deal this year and next year. When this deal is up, you and I have a deal. You and I have a deal that after this deal is up, I'm going to put you on the books for 4 more years at $64 million.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Now, so
That's
It's
illegal.
not illegal.
Now, wait.
Realize that was 2 contracts away, regardless of performance, Ron. Regardless of performance.
Because
Chill. You remember when they was up in arms because Daryl Morey ain't give James Harden that money, and they was
Right.
saying, but
That's
behind the
what I'm
scenes, he said he was going to do it. But everybody had their pitchforks ready to go crazy on Daryl Morey. But now it's illegal.
It's not the same thing.
Man, you don't like to see young brothers getting paid. I see what's going on.
No.
Shout out to Gary, man. Shout out to you, brother, man. Get that money, man.
What I'm noticing
Get that
is
money,
that,
man.
What I'm noticing is that Ron and Ox, both of y'all, I'm not gonna lie, put us together, put us all together, Ron.
Hell
Because
nah. You ain't gonna put me
both
by
of
you just so
y'all-
you could
No,
disrespect and degrade me.
I'm gonna disrespect
nah.
the both of you real quick. I'm gonna focus on y'all. Both
Go
of
ahead,
y'all,
man.
y'all need to go back to school. Both of y'all.
I'm
you,
cool.
You
I'm
need to
straight.
go back. Matter of fact, you Ron, need to go
Wow,
back.
so we
You
not
go-
supporting black business,
I'm
and
in
I would
school
say black
right
people
now.
not
Stay in the
educated
corner,
because they don't go to
stay in the
school.
corner, stay in the corner.
This is crazy, Ron.
You need to go
Is
back
that
to
not
elementary.
crazy?
Just basic math. You need to go back to elementary. Ox, you just need to relearn what you learned in college. That's what I'm saying. Ron gotta go all the way back.
Just a question,
Gotta start all the way over.
Shit, you know what I learned in college, Swiper?
So Swiper, what's the difference between what you just explained
love
to
me
me?
some
What's the difference between
volleyball.
what you just explained? What's the difference between what you just explained to me
Hey, y'all trying to come over tonight, help me with my homework?
and Daryl Morey
Ron, like,
trading
yeah, I'll
for
come
James
over.
Harden, trading for James Harden and saying, when I trade for you, I'm gonna get you paid. What's the difference between those two?
Ron was inviting baseball players on to do his homework.
No, Swiper, what's the difference? Answer Chill's question. Stop derailing.
Well, ask the question again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
He's not
Swiper,
paying
you really-
attention, Chill. So I told you he's a class clown.
The class clown. Look at
Class
him.
clown
I thought
for
you
sure.
had-
Class
Hey, why
clown
you
for
wearing that
sure,
red
yep.
hat? Huh?
Yep.
What that red hat mean?
Hey, making it great, make it great again. You know how it is.
Oh, man. Oh, see, look, Ron, he admitted it. He admitted
Jill,
it.
I can't hear you.
And James-
Gifted is yapping. Go ahead, Jill.
So Daryl Morey, so James Harden was in Brooklyn. Daryl Morey is trading for James Harden. And he tells James Harden that I'm going to get you paid once I trade for you. What's the difference between that and what?
That's a
happened
great
with
question.
Jerry
That's going to
Sloan?
require silence from Tweedledee and Tweedledum over there. So what the
A
issue
microphone.
is that James Harden being said, I'm going to pay you max based on caliber of play, meaning I have the ability to pay you a max contract. Daryl then saying, I'm not going to pay you that based on what he's actually allowed to make. I'm going to pay you underneath that, meaning you're going to make 5-10% less. That's different because that's you negotiating. This is not a negotiation in a fair market. This is not a fair negotiation. Other teams did not make this agreement with you. The Bucks made this agreement with Gary Trent. That right there is circumventing our own cap and then circumventing other teams' ability to sign Gary Trent because none of us are gonna fork up $64 million in the future. I just want you for this year, and I want you for next year, maybe on a vet min. The difference is if I'm saying I'm gonna sign you for 2 years and then pay you $64 million, well, the market's no longer competitive. And it's no longer free. It's just between me and the Bucks because now we're only making this agreement. So he's not an actual free agent. So now my agent and other people, other teams are spending time talking to Gary Trent and his agent all the while they know they're staying because they got $64 million coming.
Right. And my response to that would be I don't really like I I hear you on that, but at the end of the day, the Bucks are willing to overpay for Gary Trent. Like, I'm okay with that.
And you know what else they could
sure.
have done?
Okay.
What else they could have done really quickly gifted? They could have said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Exactly. They could have reneged.
Yeah. Some agreements need to get canceled.
Right. They could have very well said, we're
Daryl
not.
Morey is a liar.
But who is Mark?
We just wanted the crawfish on the
What is the
deal,
agency
huh?
Gary Trent's with? Can you look it up, please?
Clutch.
I think it's Clutch.
Then that also explains it. Good luck, Bucks. Good luck. If you renege on Rich Paul, that means you renege on everybody else that signed us going forward.
That's a fact.
Going forward,
Man, y'all swear Rich Paul is Michael Corleone.
Any of them. Any of them.
I mean, shit, he just got Gary Trent.
He might be.
I mean,
if you got Gary Trent 364, you might be Corleone.
I mean, it could be Jeff Schwartz. It could be Jeff Schwartz too. He's also maybe the biggest in the industry. Either way, if you renege on something that I've said and we agreed on years ago, then every athlete that I'm associated with, we're no longer signing with the Bucks. That's the whole point. And so this also is a good faith deal that, like, I'll be faithful to you. I'll make sure my players stay sure to give you the shooting you need next to Giannis. But even if Giannis isn't here, I want my $64 million.
For sure.
My client, you're paying them that. I expect
So Ron,
you to
what's
pay.
the difference? So Ron, what's the difference if I am a rookie and I'm under my rookie deal, and after this rookie deal is up, I'm already under contract, and you can't pay me $80 million right now. But in 2 years, when my rookie deal is up, you can pay me $80. We got a deal.
That's based on performance.
Illegal.
So you can't negotiate your next contract?
That
happens
can't
all the
negotiate your
time.
next contract while under contract. That's literally illegal.
That happens all the time, though.
No, but there's a window. There's a window you can do it. You're not extension
Oh, you
eligible.
can do it. Okay.
No,
so
no, because it's like for instance, Jokic can now at this point negotiate a future deal for 4 years. But you know what he
still
can't
under
do?
contract though.
No, but you're
but how do we know when Gary Trent made this agreement?
Yeah,
Maybe
how do
it
we
was
know
in the
that?
window.
Yeah,
we know that for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Assumptions again. This is assumptions.
Yeah.
This is all alleged.
This is me trying to learn.
This is all alleged for sure.
You're
How do we know
allegedly
Gary
a good
Trent
basketball
made this
player.
deal in the window. How do we know that?
There's a lot of evidence to say you were. There's a lot of
absolutely.
evidence to point to you being a good basketball player.
Mars, are you trying to make the window
That's
that Gary
alleged as
Trent
well.
was able to
Absolutely.
negotiate $64 million during the window based on his play?
Well, no, I don't think he got this based on his play. I'm asking because once again, I don't pretend to know the rules of cap and contract negotiation.
Yeah.
I don't care, quite frankly.
When somebody does know, y'all argue with him. It's crazy.
But this is what I'm asking because apparently there's a rule that
crazy.
you can negotiate
You're being
your contract while
anti-black.
you're under
I
contract
don't know.
in a window because that's what Swiper just said. Jokic right now can negotiate his next deal even if he's under contract right now. So there's obviously a window. So how do we know Gary Trent didn't
no,
negotiate
because you can't
this
you can't
contract in that
negotiate.
window?
You could, like, for instance, SGA hasn't kicked in. His new contract hasn't kicked in yet, right? That's not till next year. Next year. SGA cannot legally negotiate his next contract after that until there's a probationary period through the next contract. Like, he can't go 2 contracts away.
What is it? What is this called?
That's the whole point.
But maybe Gary Trent, hear me out. Maybe Gary Trent, the first year, he took the minimum. The second year, he then got given his handshake deal after the playoffs.
That's illegal. After the play, wait, you're saying after this
So
year?
after the playoffs in 25 that he played and he had 30 points, or whatever. And
You
did-
play
did
one
his
more
thing.
year under this deal.
Maybe,
and then
maybe that was the summer in which they said we'll give you this contract,
you play one
and
more
then
year.
that means has 1 year left on his contract, which would mean he would then
Well,
be
they're
able to
individual
negotiate his
contracts. You
next
signed
deal
2
on
vet minutes. You signed
Yeah,
2
which is
different
what
vet
I'm
minutes.
saying. The second contract, maybe that's when they negotiated the 64 million.
That's still illegal.
So then how? It's 1 year.
Because
What do you mean?
because like it's the whole point of it is that if you make an agreement, so the one contract is one thing, right? So this is where DeAndre Jordan and the Pelicans messed up, right? You see what they tried to do? They tried to
Yeah,
do
I read that. Yeah.
so they
That
tried to
was
do a prorated contract with a vet because of a 10-year in the league, stipulation or whatever. Ron, like, I'll slow down. DeAndre Jordan signed a 2-year deal with the New Orleans Pelicans and Joe Dumars. They originally tried to get it where the second year wasn't guaranteed, or the league would have to pay for a certain amount of DeAndre's money. They messed it up though, so now they're on hook for 2 full years of DeAndre Jordan. It's almost $8 million because they made a cap mistake. This instance with
That boy keep a job.
Oh, he's a great person. Great locker room person. Great. This person with Gary Trent made an agreement in either year 1 or year 2, to Mars's point, where they said, hey, Gary, to retain your rights, We're going to say on the next contract that we cannot actually negotiate with you. We're going to make a backdoor deal that says even going into your year 2 vet min, we will then sign you no matter the circumstances or situations, not based on play, $64 million in order to keep you around on your year 2 deal. That by itself would be illegal because that it eliminates the ability for the market to be able to grab Gary Trent. Does that make sense?
Okay, I understand. Okay, I understand.
Okay.
I still don't think it's wrong, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ron, do you need me to reset? So
No, I know. I get.
Apple won. Johnny had one apple.
What Mars just said.
And then
is how
the
I
guy.
feel.
Similar to what the Wolves did with Joe Smith.
Yes, that people in the chat have been saying that. Yes. And what happened? What happened to Joe Smith, Mars?
They lost all their picks because it was naughty, according to the NBA.
Ron. And so this is why the CBA sucks. Look at all the cheating that's happening that's getting caught cheating.
You don't think this happened before the CBA? Swiper?
I mean,
No,
cheating
he
for Gary
did.
Trent is disgusting.
That's what I'm saying, Mars, for Gary Trent.
That's why I don't care. Like you overpaid Gary. Cool. Like okay.
That's punishment enough. Gifted. They should get.
That's what I'm saying. Like cool.
I mean, yeah,
like,
they do have to pay Gary Trent $16 million a year.
why you have to pay him 60? Like okay,
but you see
you got it.
The difference with the Brunson thing. Because remember, Brunson did his own thing where he took $100 million in
right.
He said, "I'm not going to take that," but that's because Brunson knows he's going to be there, and it's also going to be based on performance as well. That by the time I get through this contract, I'm going to get $400+ million. Like that deal is going to be in place because right now I'm working my salary and I'm going based on less. Same thing Wemby just did. I'm going based on less than what I can earn. This one is Gary Trent saying I can't earn this. I actually cannot earn this legally. But Gary wants you so bad that regardless of your play, we're going to then promise you this money and then pay you on the other end. It's just they're two different things. And one of them is like detrimental to the market. Go ahead.
Which one is
I don't know, man.
The Gary Trent situation. Gary Trent.
I don't know.
Gary Trent.
I don't know, man.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, I would try if I was another team. If I see Gary Trent get away with this, shit, hey, take a minimum for me for the next 8 years. When you're 42, start giving you $70 million a year. Why not?
My thing about it is this
I'll
like
get stuck for the decade when I have to pay you back.
I don't know.
I know it's the negotiation periods and stuff like that. And I get all of that. If I tell you, we still have to sign it contract by contract. And on top of that, like, nobody know. It's no way you can prove this.
You're fucking crooked, Ron. You're fucking crooked.
If Gary Trent legally signed his first contract, he legally signed his second contract. He just legally signed for 4 years and $64 million. He legally signed all of these contracts. Like, there's nothing else that can be said about it. Him and his agent negotiated those contracts and legally signed them.
Well, that's like the same thing when at the higher level, which Ox is, obviously aware of because, he operates in business and you're his business partner. The same thing with the White House when Trump got the pool cleaned. When he got his pool cleaned and he signed all of the rights and the ability for his pool, that the reflection pool at the White House, to be cleaned by people he knows. And then he's upcharged. He upcharged the amount that the federal government would pay these people in order to give them more money in their pocket. But then you do that because of backdoor deals that like you're making for future whatever else it is. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's just that happens all the time. Like it's just a part of
that's when I get in the high place, I'm gonna look out for my people.
It sounds like good business to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I hope when my time comes, Ron, you're not looking at my contract. I hope you don't got nothing to do with my shit.
Ron, matter of fact,
you're a sneaky guy, bro.
Matter of fact, Ron, my contract coming up real soon. So I do hope
nobody is losing in this situation. Y'all talk about sneaky and all of that. Nobody's losing.
The team that didn't get Gary Trent for $5 million 2 years ago is the team that lost.
Oh, got it. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
you don't think Gary Trent could have helped the Raptors or something like that, or one of these teams without shooters?
Didn't get Joe Smith for $3 million.
I think Gary Trent is worth a minimum.
Me too.
So,
I would have paid. Yeah.
So in my mind, the Bucks are paying him a fair rate the last 2 years. He just happened to get 16 now on the back end. So I don't think anyone was hurt.
By the way, just to end this real quick, and I know Ron, I'll literally end it here. Do you know who Maynard Jackson is, Ron? He's the former mayor of Atlanta in the 1970s and all that stuff. So Maynard Jackson.
That's the one that got caught smoking crack.
No, the Maynard Jackson was the person.
That was I know. So I'm just
when the airport was being built in America, right? There's the two biggest airports in the U.S. are in Denver DIA and this one. But at the time, there was no cap on who could work the airport. So what he did is he put a 20% minimum that 20% of the businesses, the construction companies and businesses that are running the airport had to be owned by minorities or women. And because of that, he created tens of millionaires that are both minority, Black, Latin, or whatever, and women, because they put that sanction in that the 20% had to be lobbied toward the airport. What I'm saying is, prior to this, they were just simply saying, no, if you are not a white male and you own a business, you could not be a part of this. You couldn't be a part of the infrastructure. So therefore, the wealth wasn't changing hands. So I think this is also something we face in a day-to-day life too. Like, you have to have certain rules in place to allow people to have the same level of access, or at least a degree of access to the market. So I'm saying this is a rule that exists in the NBA and just outside the NBA as well. Like, and you have to have these stipulations in place.
I think that's, I get what you're saying, Swipe, but this is two completely different situations. Because
this is minor. It's very minor, but
Yeah, because once again, if I had access to the airport and it's like, all right, I got access to the airport now, finally, as a minority owner for a business, and then let's say a strip mall down the street is like, well, you can come over here and we'll give you more, then you're going to go over there.
The airport is by far the most profitable thing in Atlanta.
So you see what I'm saying? Nobody was going to give Gary Trent more than what the Bucks were going to give him, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it did matter because somebody could have paid him $6 million. It's like Tim Hardaway Jr. for instance. Tim Hardaway Jr. signed for $6.5 million this year with the Miami Heat. If the Crockies were like, "Hey, we'll pay you 56."
Oh,
over 3 years.
Okay.
No, but it's still illegal.
I should have knew what this was all about.
I knew that was the whole underlying thing.
I
but
get
you
it.
know,
Okay.
You know what the underlying thing is with y'all? Both of y'all two together?
Every time your schemes are uncovered, why do you take personal shots at me?
Why to the scheme? I don't think Tim Hardaway should have did that. I don't think Tim Hardaway should have did that. I don't agree with that. Ron believes that all things should be whatever. It's lawlessness. Matter of fact, I should hate Ron.
Wild West.
Ron is a lawless person. You are a man of laws, law and order. Ron is not law and order.
Welcome to the West Coast, nigga. It's just how I was raised. It's how I was bred. All right.
See that, you know what, Ron? Because that's because Swiper be trying to claim that Denver's a Western state. Like, I know on the West Coast, all the way
Colorado
over
is considered a
You're right next to Kansas.
In the Midwest.
I don't think it should be. It's the Midwest.
You share a border with Kansas.
No, Ohio considered the Midwest. That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense to me.
That definitely doesn't make sense. But
it's not. It don't matter. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And you're considered a goofy, Ron. That makes plenty of sense to me. How about that?
It's only one person up here with a red hat. That's all I know.
There's only one.
I do know that.
There's only one of us up here that be after the show.
Valid. Whoa. Oh wow.
What you finna do after the show in Atlanta?
Work out.
You finna go work out. All right.
What's your issue with Tim Hardaway?
Really, Ron? Wow.
I don't have an issue. They couldn't pay him $6.5 million. That's a double in the salary he made in Denver. You should do that.
So you wanted Denver to sign Gary Trent for that $6 million?
No, they don't have $6 million to sign. It would have been nice to sign him for 3, which he deserved. Instead of 16.
See what I'm saying, Chu? You see
he
what's
deserved more than 3. I ain't gonna lie.
16.
If you guys
maybe
want
he's
to
a
promise,
really good locker room guy.
If you wait, how dare
DeAndre
you?
Jordan is for
How
$3
dare
million.
you be upset at a billionaire for overpaying the black man? This is crazy.
That's why I don't understand. This is the problem.
But chill. It's because he wanted his franchise to sign him for $3 million instead of this brother get paid $16 million. I mean, everything comes full circle. It comes full
you know this.
circle.
During the civil rights era from 1954.
And then he gonna start talking about this type of shit.
Okay, cool. I'll let me finish it.
That's a great redirect. That's a great redirect. So I can get your shit.
Nobody asked you no Jim Crow questions. Just keep it real.
Chill. From 1954 to 1968 in the civil rights era. I just want you to know this. There were enemies of progress like Ron, like Ox, and like
enemies of progress.
You don't want this black man making $16 million. You want to send him to Colorado so that these billionaires can give him $3 million instead of him staying home where he's at.
That was so obvious.
Who's the enemy of progress?
And you know what's
Who's
gonna
the enemy
happen?
of progress?
He gonna miss a corner 3 that Jokic passes to him, and then that brother ain't gonna get no more contracts.
None.
So then he
None. He
gonna
gonna be assed out. He gonna
Enemies
be
of
assed
progress
out.
hilarious.
That's crazy. And then he wanted to try to bring MLK in this to try to sway it. Like, what you think? You think Martin Luther King?
This
you
for
think
the
Martin
people.
Luther King gonna want this brother to go to Denver for $3 million instead of stay in Milwaukee for 16?
What?
You are not aligned with progress right here. This is not what progress
You're
looks like, my
anti-progress,
brother.
bro.
You're just yapping.
Because when he
I
don't
don't know
shoot
what I'm talking
40%,
about.
you're not gonna turn.
Yapping.
You're not gonna turn
You
the other
say
cheek
that-
and give him another contract.
You think people
Turn the
hear
other
you say, "Oh, you don't know what you're
cheek.
talking about"? You're just yapping, and they're just gonna go
I
for
know
that.
this,
Swiper,
I know
I'm
this.
laying out everything.
You are.
You stood up here. You stood up here and
I'm sitting.
sat
I'm
around.
sitting. I'm sitting.
Well, I can't tell. You're short. So you sat up here. You sat up here.
Look at me, my name is Ox.
You sat up here, Swiper.
Look at me, my name is Ox. My head's in the cloud. Look at me. Look at this is Ox.
See, look, this is. You see what you do? You just throw dirt in it whenever you get exposed. This is sad. I thought you were more mature than this, Swiper. I thought you were more mature than this. You sat up here. Wait, hold on, Ron. Hold on. I gotta make sure.
As you were saying,
I gotta make sure that this is finished. We need closure. We need closure.
Right.
We need closure.
We need closure.
Hey, yo. Hey,
Swiper said.
Ox. This is akin to Ron when he goes out to the club and said, "I'm 6'3". You want a drink? I'm 6'3".
That has nothing to do with this,
Swiper.
Swiper. That has nothing to do with this. Swiper, you sat here for 15, 20 minutes. You came up with all this legal jargon. You spoke about how all these things, how it was unfair, how it was unbalanced in the market, how it was throwing the market off.
It's not the same thing.
And it's unfair. And it's unfair that
This is
they're
the false
paying him
equivalency.
16.
If you were in court, they
we're
would
not
tell you
in
to
court.
hush.
We're not in court. We're not in court. We're not in court. We're on YouTube.
This is a bad point. This is a bad point.
But I didn't even make my point. How do you know I'm making a bad point?
I just heard you for the last 10 minutes pushing back against my point, and then using the point I made earlier.
But wait, I'm not talking about that. That's not even what I'm saying anymore. That's not what I'm saying anymore. What I'm saying is,
hey guys,
why would you not want this brother to make $16 million instead, just so that your team can sign him to 3? Like how does that make sense?
Swiper laughing his ass off.
I thought you wanted.
There's something wrong with him. Just let this go.
Something wrong with him,
He's
bro.
not all the way there.
Ron,
He's
I'm
not.
not
He
even,
laughing off
I'm
cam
not even
so
really
hard right
talking
now,
to
bro.
Swiper as much as I'm just trying to get this, make sure that everybody understands what Swiper does up here every day. This is what Swiper does every day. He says things, throws a whole bunch of nonsense at it.
Can I go with
says
you
a whole
guys?
bunch of different shit, and then come to find out, he's not even standing on business. He don't stand. He's not standing on his nuts.
You gotta stop, bro.
Never. And then he turns into a spectacle, and then tries to disrespect the platform. I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot this is PC. We can't really talk." You know what I'm saying?
I have never heard someone call someone an enemy of progress over Gary Trent, bro.
This is what politicians do. This is
I'm gonna
what
use that.
politicians
I'm
do.
using that shit.
This is what
Are
they
you a
do.
politician, Swiper? Are you a politician?
You an enemy of progress.
Is that what you are, Swiper? Are you a politician?
He is. Shit, we know he's a
Is
politician.
that what you are?
Yeah,
Swiper?
yes,
You are-
bro.
This is what they do.
You are a political figure for the man. Is that what you are, Swiper?
Answer the question.
Interesting. Anyway, Ron, you were going to super chats. That's where you were going, Ron.
Ron, I'm sorry. You're an enemy of progress because you don't have a problem with the Bucks overpaying.
No,
Gary
because
Trent.
they both
You are
clap
an
for
enemy of
billionaires. That's
progress.
why they're enemies of progress. They both clap for billionaires. Both of y'all do. Both. That's why you're an enemy of
Clap
progress.
for billionaires is
Quit
also
twerking.
crazy.
Hey, look at me,
Clap-
Steve Ballmer. Look at
Clap
me
for
protecting
billionaires is
Kawhi
crazy.
Leonard.
We know,
What are they doing?
we know he don't mean this.
What are they
We know
doing,
Swiper don't mean this when he say clap.
What are they
That's
doing,
what make
Swiper?
that shit crazy. That's nuts.
What did you say, Chill?
What are they doing, Swiper?
No, you didn't mean that. You didn't mean that clap. I know what you meant. I know exactly what you meant when you said
Let
clap.
him focus,
We
Ron.
can move on, though.
Ron, as you were saying, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
All right.
Get back right. Get back
I'll
right.
see y'all later. I gotta get out.
All right, Jay.
Yeah.
Bye, Jay.
Yo, salute to everybody that's tapped in right now. Make sure y'all like that video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you become a member. And if you got super chats, if you got anything that you want to ask us, anything you want us to talk about, whatever the case is, send through them super chats. We'll read them and talk about what you got to talk about. The first super chat I got is $19.99 from Spanish Jose. My man Jose said he did say, quote unquote, whatever it takes. I think he cares about his legacy. He wants to be amongst the GOATs, and this pay cut allows financial breathing room for a potential dynasty. And last time I checked, 250 is still a lot of money.
I'm gonna be honest. I really hate the idea that like because a player wants to get paid, they don't want to win. Like, how about the front office do their job? That I don't know. Pay me. Like I need you to understand, right? The value of Wemby we're defining at what the cap is. In reality, a lot of these players are worth more than what they can legally pay them. If we're being honest, bro. Like,
and if the owners could pay them that, they would.
Yeah. But
I'm pretty confident that if the owners could pay them that, they would. Yes.
Yeah. And like it's a weird, I would say, NBA fetish where it's like, oh, you gotta take less if you're trying to win. Like that. That's so contrived to me because it's like if you play to a certain level, you want to get paid because your NBA life is not that long. You should be able to maximize every part of your career, and what you deserve is what you deserve. Now, does that mean they should pay you? That's a case by case overall situation. But this idea that like a player doesn't want to win because they want to get what they're entitled for from billionaires is kind of stupid to me. Like, do your job as a front office. How about you don't overpay smaller contracts as a reason to hamstring your roster? So now a player has to take less to try to help you win.
Like Gary Trent for $64 million?
Or overpaying De'Aaron Fox. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Well, we got some new members. We got Kev Blaze, 6318. He's a new member. Shout out to Kev Blaze.
WKev.
Absolutely. Tupac Westside, who we should have been got to this, but we did not. He said, morning, fellas. This is tricky. I think Wemby made a mistake to no fault of his own. It helps the team build, but now free agents are going to expect, front offices are going to expect stars to take pay cuts or be called selfish for not doing so. Is that true, guys? I don't know if that
you can expect what you want. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right. I don't expect.
I mean, we just watched Donovan Mitchell sign for $70 million a week ago.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But the difference is, Mars, is that he could have waited and signed it for more next year, even though Cleveland was not going that far. I don't think they were neither.
We've got to realize these guys are individual human beings with different desires and different goals, and no one's saying that in order to win, you have to take less money, but it also is undeniable that if you do take less money, that allows teams more flexibility to build better rosters, which increases your chances of potentially winning. And I think that's what Wemby wants to do. Wemby wants to have the best possible chance of winning as much as possible, which means, yeah, it's going to have to come with some financial sacrifice, whether or not we like that or not. Yes, would it be great if the Spurs could build a perennial dynasty with Wemby making super max money?
That'd be great.
Sure. But the likelihood of that happening is lower than if Wemby takes less. That's just what happens in a salary capped league.
Which is crazy for me because that's what originally the bird rights were for, to pay guys like Wemby whatever they want and it not be an issue with the salary cap. That's the unfortunate part. Wemby should be able to get what Wemby wants and it doesn't hamper.
This is what Wemby wanted.
Yeah.
He worked with the Spurs. It's not like the Spurs came in like, hey, we actually can't build a contender around you, so you got to take this. It was like, no. Like the report was Wemby worked with the Spurs to come to this deal, which means Wemby wanted this. The Spurs were happy with it. They agreed. Like,
yeah, because Wemby saw the team.
Break it to you guys. If Wemby wanted $303 million, he would have got $303 million.
That's
Wemby did not take this deal for any other reason other than he was fine with this deal. Because if Wemby wanted 303, Wemby would have got 303.
They want to make it seem like
came to him and offered him 303.
He took the less money so they could build a team around him. Like, that's fine.
Right. There's nothing wrong with this.
I'm not in the negotiation room, but I'm 85% sure. But I'm not there. So take this. So the Spurs came to him and offered him 303, and he came back to them saying, "How about this?" I'm 85% sure that's what happened. Because no way the Spurs went to him like,
okay.
Hey, we're actually not going to offer you the 30% max. We're actually not going to do that.
Who's saying that though?
So then that means this was Wemby deciding what he wanted to do. And here we are complaining that Wemby used his free will to say how much money he wants. Is it
Who's
at a
comp-
point of
wait,
free
wait, wait,
agency?
wait, wait.
Is it at a point of
Wait a
contract
minute.
negotiation? You get what
Mars,
you want?
Mars,
Isn't it
Mars.
That's correct.
Gifted,
Mars.
Gifted, you weren't
But
here.
Wemby
You weren't
got
here at
what
the
he
beginning of the
wanted.
show. Gifted.
Wemby
This
got
is
what he
is
Oh,
wanted.
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
This
okay, okay.
this has been
This has been
talked about. This has been talked about like Wemby's being taken advantage of or something. Like when,
No.
like, this
No,
is
no.
how it's been displayed to us.
No. He very much shows this. I agree. Yeah.
Well, he
But-
chose
but-
this because they put that deal on the table, and they also said, "Well, we
Yeah.
also have this. Like, if you waited a year, this is what we could pay you. If you sign this deal now, this is what we can pay you, and this is what we can do. These are your options." They didn't shove this in Wemby's face and go, "Yo, Wemby, take this deal right now." No, and they probably presented it to him in a way where we're going to do everything that we can to build a contender around you.
Absolutely, chill. Yeah.
We're
Right.
going to do everything that we can to build a contender around you and give you an opportunity to win. Wemby wanting to win, probably heard that and was like, "You know what? I'm really liking that. I'm really liking that idea."
Yeah. I'm making a largely independent point from that. All I'm saying is if a player wants to be paid, that doesn't mean they don't want to win. Like there is a large group of people who believe if a player doesn't take less, they don't really want to win. And I just don't agree with that. That's all I'm saying. Yes, I believe that he wanted them to have more flexibility so he could win a title. 100% agree with that. However, I don't think he needs to make that decision if the Spurs front office isn't hamstringed with a bad contract in general. But they were willing to pay him.
And it also helps that they came to him with these options. Like it wasn't like, "Okay, Wemby,
Exactly.
take this money or you get nothing." No, the fact that they were able to come to him with these options, like, "Yo, if you take this bread now we have the option of doing this, or now we have the opportunity to do this. You can get this bread if you played one more year, and we would sign you to this. We probably wouldn't have the opportunity to build around you like we would like, and we would be hamstrung." So, to your point, I do think that it was presented to him in a way where he was able to make a choice, and I think he did what was best for him. So speaking of doing
Everyone, go ahead, sure.
Speaking of doing something, Cheese said the chat clears. This is Cheese who's definitely looking out, and that also leaves us with our next super chat from LFC 226, who said, "Did you see Wilson, Boozer, and Brown Jr. thought they all played well?" I did too.
I've liked Michael Brown Jr. I've liked Caleb Wilson. I've liked
been good.
I think that they did.
And they've all been good. I think most of the rookies have been good.
I'm liking the fact that Cleveland put Tomlin on the summer league team, because I think that there's and I don't think that we have to have an extensive conversation about this, but I think that there's a world where teams have rotation guys on their roster and they want to make sure that they got the right guy. So putting him in the summer league to see that work ethic continue, like, okay, we got the right guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ridiculous to think that that's something going on.
I'm not gonna lie to you. What pisses me off though is like, why on God's green earth, why is Derek Queen not playing in summer league?
Or Fears? Why is Fears not playing either?
Like, why are they not playing in summer? I don't love that. Honestly,
should be playing. There's a number of different guys that should be playing that are not. So Player's Choice said W Cheese, absolutely. So we'll definitely shout out Cheese. Shout out our new member, Secluded 6 became a new member. That's dope. All right. Tune 316 said the Supermax killed the NBA. In its origin, it was made for losers to keep great players on bad teams that couldn't win in their situation. It's snowball effect. That's why we have this CBA now.
I just think it's hard to win when a player is making 35% of the cap. But that doesn't mean I think players shouldn't take that money if it's offered to them. I'm always on the side of take whatever you want.
But see,
I believe in free will. So.
And I think that I think that there's a lot of validity in what you say. I think where the divide is that's what the bird rights were for, and the bird rights got put into, to your point, 35. The bird rights now are 35% of the max. 35% of the salary cap. The bird rights weren't put in for that. The bird rights were put in so I got my free agent who I raised. I should be able to pay him whatever I want, and that doesn't count against the salary cap. That's what it was originally for. Then we bring in, okay, it's only going to count for 35% because teams like Portland and Minnesota and Oklahoma City and Utah, well, now they can't compete because not only are they not keeping their players, not only are they not keeping their players because they can't afford to pay them, the bigger markets are now swallowing up all of their players, and it kind of sucks in that aspect. So, I mean, that's what it was originally for. So, welcome back, Ron.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The next super chat that we got is from SMN RNDM. Said, Ox, you basically said, if you don't take a pay cut, you don't care about winning. In 5 years, when fans are going to complain about that Luka roster construction, everyone's going to say he should have taken a pay cut. That's the issue.
That's what
Did you basically say that?
Ox didn't basically say shit. I said exactly what I said. There's no reason ever to read between the lines with me. There's never any reason to make an assumption about the words coming out of my mouth. I said exactly what I said. He's a grown man, and he decided to take the pay he wanted to take. He figured that maybe it would help him with their roster construction. I also said that if he has the right to take the 300 because he earned it and he's qualified to take it. That's what I said.
It would also undeniably be easier to build a roster around anyone if they made less money. I don't even think that's not even a take. It's just common sense.
That's real. Yeah.
If everyone took less money, it would be easier to build a roster in a league where there's a salary cap.
And if you take more money, that doesn't mean you don't care about winning. But that's none of our business.
That's the only point that I care about, because there's a lot of people that will tell you if you don't take less, you're not trying to win. And I just don't believe that.
Everyone has different priorities. Some people will take the max they're allowed. It doesn't mean they don't care about winning. Some people will take the max and they actually don't care about winning. Some people will take less, but that doesn't mean they care about winning. Some people will take less because they do care about winning. Everyone's different. Like, we need to stop trying to paint everyone with the same brush. Like, there's people who will take less money because they want to go to a team in a more desirable location where they want to live. That doesn't mean they're prioritizing winning. That means, Rui allegedly had better offers than what the Clippers were offering, but he wanted to stay in LA. So he took less money and went to a desirable location. Are we going to say that Rui went to the Clippers because he wants to win? Respectfully, no. But he took less money. So, like, at the end of the day, everyone has different priorities. Everyone's a different person. We need to stop trying to act like everyone does everything for the same reason.
And that's okay.
Less money. Sure, maybe there's people in the chat who would take less money if they were a Jokic, Shea, Wemby caliber player. That's your decision. Maybe there's other people who wouldn't take less money. That's your decision. You are all different. Same way Wemby is a different person to Jokic. That doesn't mean that Wemby cares about winning more or less than Jokic, and Jokic cares about winning more or less than Wemby. Everyone is different. Like, they're not robots.
Chill. This is a big reason why I've been saying for a couple of years now up here, this shit ain't our business. Like, stop telling us how much these niggas is making and stop making this everybody's business. Like this, why do I need to know how much this man make? Just so that we can have something to make content about? Just so that ESPN can have something to talk about? Like, it's why?
Well,
why?
I think it's a part of the job, personally.
Why?
The reason why is because
it's a part of whose job? And yes, we can chill. We can talk. And then, but see that see that's another point right there. Then that's okay. Then that's what I just said. If we're just always, and so that's what I'm saying. Chill. If what you're saying, if what you're saying is true, that means they just disclose people's financial information so niggas can have something to gossip about.
No, I think that they disclose people's financial information so we can have conversations about what teams can afford this, what teams can afford that. There's a difference between talking basketball and talking the business of basketball. Mars wants to talk X and O. Mars wants to talk how good a player is. This player can't be on this team if we can't have this guy on our group because he costs too much. That matters.
It's a different side. It's a different side for sure.
Yeah, but gifted, something should be arranged.
I would 100% love to talk about Anthony Davis's ability to play on the box. I would love to talk about Alex Sarr's ability to protect the rim. But I can't talk about that. He can't be on that group because he costs too much. I would love to consistently talk about that 100%. But we have to talk about the business of basketball when talking about that.
Because so that's what I'm saying. We're doing it just so that we can have something to talk about?
I think we need to
know how much these people make so we can have something to talk about.
I think this is a very interesting conversation because, in my opinion, right, like Ox is right in the sense of we don't need to know what players are making to discuss the basketball product that we're watching every day, right? But the other side is by knowing what the teams are made of and what they can or can't do, we can then try to speculate which player can go to what team or what moves a team can make to improve their basketball roster based on what's available. Like both things do exist. Which one you would rather discuss is entirely up to you. It's how I would say it.
So it's all about discussion. Once again, that's what I'm saying. It's all for the dialogue. It's all for
that's what it seems like to me.
I think it's more
it's all for
So what are we, Ox, what are we here for then? If that's the case, Ox, like, are we just here to just talk about ballers? That's it?
Yeah.
We're here to talk. We're here to talk. Yeah.
That's it. We're just here to talk about who better than this guy. This because most of the time, we don't even talk basketball. This dude just better than that dude. He's just better. Like, we don't even talk basketball.
When do we do that, Chill? When do we do that? I don't know what we are here for, but I know what I'm here for. I'm here to talk about basketball. Yeah, I'm here to talk about basketball.
I'm here to pocket watch. All right.
Hold on.
We know based on
we didn't even though you were right, even though you were 100% right, and I was dead wrong on this. We didn't even discuss Cleveland and New York. You know why? They was just better than them. No reason to talk about them. We ain't got to talk about why Donovan.
Yeah, because sometimes when it's that obvious, when it's that obvious.
Because
you don't need to have a Steph Curry versus Raymond Felton debate.
Right. Chill. But that's what I'm saying though. Like certain times, it's like, how much do we need to discuss this? And on top of that, we talked about the roster. What else is there? What else does it need to be talked about? This team, when you look at how they're constructed, as opposed to this team, when you look at how they're constructed, the physicality of this team, the lack of showing up in the fourth quarter in this team, the wing defense on this team, the lack of perimeter defense on this team, the physical play in the paint on this team, and the soft-ass skinny niggas in the paint on this team. What more is there? What else is there to say?
There's a comment in the chat that says, this is also for bargaining power. Public knowledge of salaries benefits the players union from Mr. Burnout 2005. Here's my question about that. Like, public knowledge would benefit the union, but I really feel like if this wasn't public knowledge, owners and agents know. Like, you still know behind the scenes exactly how much guys are making. I don't think it needs to be a thing on Twitter from Shams for agents to tell their players what other players made. I'm pretty sure they have their own database to know that and tell their, I would say, clients that, in my opinion, at least.
Wait, real quick, because Teflon's saying that we didn't say any of that. We talked about this all season. All season, we talked about that. In fact, there was a clip that I wouldn't say viral, but it was kind of popular, got a lot of views. When me and Chill was talking about that, about which team in the East could beat the teams coming out the West. I said the Knicks because they can match the physicality. Chill said about, also you saying Cleveland's soft. I was like, not necessarily soft, they're just not as physical. And we went into that conversation. We've had the Cleveland conversation hundreds of times on this channel this season. We had the New York Knicks versus Cleveland conversation as far as which team is better, which team's more physical, which roster is constructed better. We had that conversation a bunch of times. So no, I didn't need to keep pointing it out when the playoff matchup came because we talked about it a bunch of times. So if Chill looks at that as me saying, oh well, they're better because I said so.
You were right, but you were right though.
Well, I mean, I wasn't the only one, Chill. We were all right. We all knew.
I wasn't because I wasn't in agreement with that at all. I was like, yo, Cleveland could beat these dudes. I still can't believe that they walked by them dudes in 4 games. I'm blown away.
Yeah. I still can't believe that you didn't see that coming.
I really did. I was like, they can beat these dudes. No, they
I had them winning. I didn't have them getting like walked down severely in that way.
They didn't get a game,
and that's fine. Yeah, no.
All right, y'all. I got to get back into the super chats because us talking about how Cleveland got their ass kicked. That don't really,
Wait a minute, Rob. I got one question though. So like on the lens of this topic though, what industry in sports does not tell you what contracts are being signed? Like, I do want to know that. Is there any like major thing that doesn't tell us how much these players are making? Like,
I don't think so. I think all sports do it.
Yeah, boxing, soccer.
You can find it in football, but it's not readily available. Like, you have to go look for it. And
okay.
And they're not always
gifted. I don't think it's just a problem in basketball. I think it's a problem in all sports. I don't think it should be so outright and just forthcoming with that every step of the way. I've always been against that.
Okay, yeah. And I'm not mad at that. That's fair. That's fair, Ox.
The only people who's not reported are the owners. and some of the
Right.
which is what I'm part of my point in the first place. But you know,
Well,
shouts.
I know that.
Yeah, shout out Gary Trent.
Roger Goodell's salary is in effect.
Oh, well, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be publicly reported. No.
All right, Drink More Water sent through $19.99 and said, I'm curious to know how you guys evaluate someone's ceiling. Like, how can you tell if a player will get much better at a skill, or maybe they are at their ceiling already? Is it purely athletic traits, past growth rates, etc.?
That's a great question.
For most people, it's athleticism.
Yeah.
And
for me,
their game is
Proprioception,
Yeah.
Mars?
I look at brain.
It's not really proprioception. It's more so run fast, jump high, be strong. If you have those things, your ceiling tends to get inflated. No, I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's how people tend to view it. So,
How do you look at it, Mars?
I don't know. I don't think I look at it like an exact science.
Okay.
I do think past growth is an indicator of like some things, but it doesn't tell you how good someone can potentially be at something. But I do think it tells you like their propensity for improvement. I don't think there is an exact way to tell someone's ceiling, personally. Athleticism might be the best measure, to be honest. It might be. I don't know.
I think it also depends on what position these players play as well, to judge on how how much you think they're going to get better. Also, like age, obviously, I think age is probably one of the first ones. A lot of times, like for like guards, like wings, 2s and 3s, I'm looking at kind of, especially if they're young, I'm looking at the process of things. Like, are you getting to good shots? Are you getting good looks? Are you making open passes? Are you moving without the basketball? And I'm not just basing it on is the shot going in or not. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing the right stuff and sometimes the shot's just not dropping, maybe you got a funny looking shot or something like that, then cool, we could take more of a chance on him or her because they can get in the lab and get that together. And then just like competing, like are you competing? You know what I'm saying? Are you getting after it on the defensive end? I'm looking at like hustle plays, stuff like that. You know, the stuff that can keep you on the floor. You know, like okay, so Gifted, you know, like for Angel Reese. I'm looking at Angel Reese like, oh yeah, she has a lot of room to grow, and she rebounds and plays defense, so we can keep her on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Right. We can keep her on the floor to get all those reps in, and if we just help her stay on balance on the offensive end, those shots are going to start going in. So I look at Angel Reese as somebody that has so much room to grow. You know what I'm saying? Players like that.
Yeah. For me personally, I agree with Mars. I don't think it's a consistent structure. I think the most important thing for me is health output before anything else, because I got to know like how healthy you are as a player. And then it's like age, because that might actually show like how many years you have left to get better. I think something that goes underrated in ceiling is like processing, because it's hard to like, I would say, qualify like how smart you think a player is or can become, because we've seen players like improve in that with the more years they get. I think athleticism is a pretty good thing to use, because there are certain limitations players have. Like, no shade, but like I think there are physical limitations to what Jokic can do on defense, and that obviously is going to, you know, kind of dictate how well his ceiling defensively can be. But at the same time, the processor Jokic is buys him more time to like improve year in and year out. So like, it's very case by case basis. And I feel like we often don't keep the energy the same with players. I think the biggest thing we don't talk about is we have a big sample size of Hall of Famers. So anytime we say, what is this player's overall ceiling, we're comparing it to what we've already seen before. That's a huge thing we don't talk about.
Yeah. All right. Why is he lying? Sent through $19.99 and said, chill. I really felt bad for you and the other guys watching that House of Highlights show, for real. LeVar Ball got to be one of the worst ball talkers I've ever heard, and in the most obnoxious way possible, yo.
I actually enjoyed talking to him afterwards. Like, he's a stand-up dude. Like, we did that at his house. And we had very strict, I don't have any pictures or anything like that, because we had very strict rules. Like, there were certain places at the house we couldn't go, and, you know, we couldn't take any pictures. he's got a basketball court in his house, and Alonzo and Jello were there, and they were working out. We couldn't go down on the floor. We were upstairs watching, so it was very detailed.
You can't just walk around my house either, even as a guest. Don't go to my bathroom.
Go in there and do it. Hey, go straight to the kitchen, straight to the refrigerator.
Well, you have to. You come to my house, you're gonna run into the kitchen fairly quickly. So,
and I'm gonna be in the refrigerator even quicker.
Well, you're gonna be not in the kitchen. I will have food laid out for you.
That's not what I want.
Your ass gonna be in the refrigerator, Ron. That's what you're gonna be.
Yeah,
and walking in. That's
wow.
exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I have a guest bathroom for Ron. Ron, that guest bathroom is just for you.
That's a crazy threat.
That's an insane threat from Chip.
I'm glad we have this on public record, so we all know.
I'll say it again, Ron. You come in my house and walk in my refrigerator. Your ass gonna be in the refrigerator.
Ron is not on the show tomorrow. We know why.
Yes, he's in the refrigerator.
Yeah, Ron, I have guest towels for you. I have a powder section for you in particular. I have wipes and toilet paper and spray. So all of that's in the guest bathroom. There's no reason to go into my bathrooms. None whatsoever. You can handle your business right here and clean it up when you're done. There's cleaning materials down there, all kind of stuff. I personally don't chill out. Just walk around people's houses. That's just
that's fair. Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. Yeah, that's fine.
Wolves in 4 sent through $9.99 and said, this puts undue pressure on executives to make sure they get Wemby a chip now. I don't believe taking $10 million less per year will automatically buy you a chip, and Castle will be overpaid now.
Overpaid for Castle? What is that?
And the undue pressure thing, I'm not trying to hear that. These executives get paid what they get paid to do a job. So ain't no undue pressure. Your ass, when you get a guy like Wemby on your roster, you have to win. It's
overpaid? Castle's going to get a rookie max like he should.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Overpaid. Anime is cool. Sent through $9.99 and said, it is a form of cap circumventing because you get him on the cheap when you don't have his bird rights. So that's when you give him money. You have his bird rights. Isn't this what the Wolves did with Joe?
They were paying him $3 million a year, and then the other $80 million was on the back end.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
All I'm saying, Chill, is that at the end of the day, the player had to trust that they would honor what they told him when he signed that contract. We've seen at multiple points what happens is teams don't do that, and then it's a business. So at the end of the day, he trusted them to honor that, so that's why he signed there. That is what it is.
James Harden expected to get paid because he had a history with Daryl Morey. It wasn't Daryl Morey who was the problem. It was the Philadelphia brass that was like, we done with this. We're not going
exactly.
No. And Daryl Morey was ultimately the casualty because of it. But that's where these handshake deals that everybody doesn't know about, that's how they can be tricky. But go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
All right. Voki Gaming sent through $9.99 and said, this convo is so performative. I hope when y'all are hiring people to edit videos and many other things for y'all channels, I hope y'all pay them fair and give them equity as well, since this is how y'all feel.
Okay, I'm gonna respond to that. I definitely will, because I do this shit by myself. So I definitely pay myself really well. Sure, okay. I hear you on that.
No, I pay interns and exposure. I don't pay them actual money. Shucks.
I do all my own editing, and then
this man Swipely is living up to that red hat, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
Tone does the editing for the other show.
Respect. Yeah.
All right. Black Star sent through $10 and said, love the show. Recently suffered a knee injury. Told it might be a torn ACL. Trying to go overseas, but at least I can watch the show while I'm off the court for a while.
Yeah, we here for you.
Hope you get better, brother. Hope you get better.
Here for you. That's why we here.
It's not easy, man. Yeah.
Hey, cool thing about it is overseas ain't going nowhere, so it'll still be there next year. Minor setback for a major comeback. Also, them ACL injuries. It's not as bad as it used to be. It's you used to almost be like a death sentence. A lot of players come back stronger from that ACL. So, brother, my man Black Star, make sure you hit that. Hit your recovery. Do all of that. Do it at the highest level you potentially can. You know, like really attack it aggressively, and you could come back stronger for it.
Yeah.
Same prayers to my dog Jimmy Butler, man. We're gonna need you this season, man. I'm sorry, Chill. Please.
All right, why is he lying? Sent through $9.99 and said, been watching AJ DeBanter recently, and what the fuck is up with all the head snapping and flailing? Don't tell me this is what he been on regularly. Put me on game right now so I can hop on the DP hype train.
Now, just so you know, why is he lying?
Same thing.
And
He does the
let's
same
be clear.
thing, right?
These guys are kids, so there is some merit to him being little. Like, take a look at AJ DeBoster today and see what he looks like in 5 years. He's going to be much stronger. He won't be able to move. You won't be able to move him.
No, he's going to be a free throw merchant, though, for sure. Right? Yes, that's already clear.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, though. Get to the line.
Yeah, he's going to get
I don't think
nine free throw attempts a game.
I don't think that's bad to be as a rookie player, though. That's actually very impressive if you're able to get to the line consistently as a rookie player. Like, that is going to make you overall better because your overall scoring output is going to be more effective than most other people if you consistently get to the line. That's good. It's good. I don't think that's bad.
I think Darren Peterson might be a more Kyrie that he don't need the free throws. I mean, he's going to get fouled, but he's so skilled. I think he likes to rely on skill a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
A-Cup is going to be a free throw guy, 100%.
That defense so bad, though, brother. Jesus Christ, that defense is bad.
Yeah, I told you it's going to take the whole year in years with him for sure.
Gifted on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being Gary Payton, 1 being Trey Young. What are we looking at with A-Cuff?
Bro, it's damn near Trey Young. I saw a play and again. I want to be clear, right? I want to watch more film because I've only seen like 2 games. But that ass, like when the ball leaves, he's like here watching the ball, and it's like, bro, your man is right there. And
does he have any idea where the ball is? Does he have any idea where
it is bad off ball? Where again, y'all have probably watched more than me, so like I can't really say that is who he is. But off what I've seen, it hasn't been good. I don't know, Ron.
That's not good.
I said Darius Acuff would be the worst defender in the league, and I'm still pretty confident in that being the case.
Yeah, well, he had a good defensive possession last game. I think
he got good defensive possession last game.
Yeah, on Will Riley, he had a good possession.
I do think he's gonna have to. His biggest thing is just like that block that AJ had on him. It's almost like he's not aware, which is again growth. AJ blocks his shot as the ball is getting tipped to a Wizards player. He's like backpedaling while AJ is already like behind him. And then there was another play where him and another player that played for the Kings, AJ got clear behind them, didn't even cross half court yet, and he was already at the free throw line, and both of them are staring at the ball. So some of this is they're just young. Like, they're young, and they're going to have to.
That's fair, though.
A lot. It's going to be an absolute grind getting his head on the swivel correctly. Like, it's just basic stuff.
Yes,
I mean, listen, I'm about to bail, bro. Trae Young had a very tough start to his career, but that second half was really good from Trae Young. Like, it's a long process. Like, we have 82 games for a reason, very much so.
I almost don't like that we have so much access to the games because everybody's like, I even seen Gifted in the chat. You said you think it might be cooked for A-Cup. It's like, bro, this is like,
I love
what happens when you're
19
in the NBA, bro. Like,
I love the fact that we have this much access because I'm on record saying it. I didn't get to see John Stockton until like 92.
But think about how we would overreact to everything, though. Like the way Jordan would be perceived now, if we watch all of his games, it wouldn't be the same.
Which would be dope
That's
because then
point.
we could get it in its. But the difference is that we could get it in its entirety. We could see him from this point.
We can see everything.
To this point,
yeah.
To this point. To this point. Like I got to see Stockton for a little while, and then I didn't get to see him until I like moved to Utah, and I was like, "Oh shit, this guy is."
That's
awesome.
valid. That's valid.
And I didn't even know
It's
he was
always
this
gonna
awesome.
be good. Yeah, it's always gonna be good, but people are gonna be annoying. It is what it is. People are gonna be reactionary. That's just life. But I don't think that means we shouldn't have
Like
as much
people think
access.
Scott Wagner was just garbage after game 1. I'm just like, brother, like
I still think he's.
Well, I mean, they were reacting.
Right.
They were reacting to him having a bad game, and like yeah, there's overreactions, but also too though, like he literally had a bad game, and like the thing with Darius Acuff is like for the most part, nobody's saying he's going to be trash or garbage. We're just acknowledging that he has glaring flaws right now, and it's going to be it's going to take some huge hurdling for him to get to the levels that people like you think he can get to, Swiper. And I think that's a fair assessment. He's a short guard. He's not so good on defense, and he's going to have to make tough ass shots for him to become that level of player.
Have to do that though. I think that's a learning thing. I think he did it on AJ. Like he drove by AJ and did a nice little, switcheroo in the air, finish over contest and all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of it is just like it's just going to take time for you to learn the position. And I think it's the same thing with some guards walk into the league and they just get it right, like, but not all the time. That's just rare for you.
Guard and big learning curves. It just is what it is.
CP3 wasn't a learning curve, right? Like
Because
CP3
bigs don't have the responsibility that guards have. I can get with that.
CP3 walked in the league and rookie year was like, damn, he's a star. Second year, damn, he's an MVP.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen,
I just don't like lying. Like, bro, I have not seen most of these players play in college for the entire season. And just because you did watch them in college, it doesn't mean it's going to translate the exact same way in the NBA. Once game one of 82 begins, we have a sample size to work with, and we'll see exactly what it is. I just know that for what I have seen, I don't think he's some like crazy. I don't think he's like a Trae Young offensive talent in terms of like passing and shit like that. I think he can score and he's shifty, but like how that translates against real NBA defense, I got to see it. I don't know. I'm rooting for him. He's from Detroit. Let's go Detroit. But I don't know.
All I know is I told y'all Mikal Brown Jr. was him.
He nice. I like Mikal.
You didn't right about nothing. It's summer league. We don't know. He don't know either. We
That's true.
All right, based on what we know right now, because we can't.
It's been nice though.
Hey, based on what we know right now, because we can. It's July 13th. It's not January 13th. So we haven't seen no NBA games, but based on what we know from summer league, Mikal Brown is him.
What do you buy?
He could be the best Mikal in the league.
By the way, what do you buy me for my birthday, Ron?
For your birthday? What you buy me for my birthday?
What do you mean? What is it like? I literally bought you.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Sniper, I got you. I'm
the same way, Mars. Hey, Mars, I feel the same way. Ron, come on, man.
Come on, what? I didn't ask the question.
You're not locked in.
Swiper asked me the question.
Why
you got baited, bro.
All
right, I'm a Euro. My bad. I gotta.
You fell for that shit. You fell for that shit, Ron.
I gotta stop.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Dre Knows Ball sent through $9.99 and said, "Did y'all know the Premier League makes $9 billion in revenue? They posted losses of $1.3 billion for 2025. NFL and NBA teams, 99% made of the NFL and NBA teams, 99% made a profit. That's why they are the most valuable leagues in the world."
What's the margin for Premier League then? If 99% of the NBA made a profit, like how many teams are like profitable in that league? I don't know because I don't watch. So like, I'm generally curious. I don't know.
I don't think most people who watch worry about the profit margins of teams. It's more of an American thing. You guys care more about the financial side.
Mars does not care what's going on in Liverpool financially. He does not care.
Right. It doesn't really impact you anyway, but just,
Impact me,
I think it's inconsequential in ways over there. Here is, just everything matters.
We like to pocket watch over here. This is true. Very much a thing.
Well, everybody gets pocket watch except for the people making all the money. Which just
right. Yes, that's very true. Yeah.
All right, DBZ Stay sent through $9.99 and said Caleb Wilson is him. Outplayed Cam, Peterson, and AJ when they matched up in college. He is going to be the best player in this draft and outplayed Cam again Friday night.
I don't think he played AJ in college. I might be wrong. If he did, I don't remember that game. He played Darren and Cam though, but I don't remember him playing AJ.
He didn't play AJ.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
But he would have outplayed him though. So
I'm not saying he would or wasn't. I just don't think he did.
I like Caleb, man. I do. I think it's very much in the cards for him to be the best player in the draft. I just think Cam might be more repeatable than him. It's how I view it.
They have the same birthday. That was
for real.
Oh, no. Yeah, the exact same birthday.
Really?
All right.
Well, they're a year apart, but they're born on the same day.
Yeah.
July 18th
Word.
or something.
Very young, man.
Shout out to Kev Blaze 6318. Appreciate you for joining up as a member. DSG Piccolo sent through $10 and said, "Hater of the year goes to the Uber driver from Chicago. Had the nerve to tell me Braun number 13 all time. Names like Big O, Zeke better. D-Rose stay healthy. He would have been number 14. He's admittedly biased though.
Sounds like
It's one of those where you got to be on your phone the whole
Best
ride.
player of
You'll
all time.
realize the real world and like is very different to like
Very
the
different.
social media world, which is why like MJ probably still is the consensus GOAT because in the real world, most people have him in the top 3 regardless. Like, that just is the case. Braun, like you go out in public, there will be people who don't have Braun top 5. Like that just exists. And
Shit,
it's
top
probably
10
more
sometimes.
people. It's probably more people than you would care to acknowledge. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who don't have Braun top 5. So
Should he really be top 5 though?
you got
No,
to
Ron, he
see
shouldn't be. Anyway,
All right. Yeah,
Discuss
babe.
Thank you, Chill. I appreciate you for acknowledging that.
No, Ron. See, that's how you Euro step past some bullshit. I need you to do that.
I just
Lock
wanted
in.
I just wanted to get the clip of Chill saying no, he shouldn't be, and I got it. So thank you, Chill.
That's fair. Fair enough.
KD Nines sent through $9.99 and said Caleb told the media he has been taking 2,000 shots a day for the last 2 months, and that Boozer is one of the few guys he respects in this draft. Bulls family, I think we got us one.
is
I
it
know you say
ridiculous
you
for me
think
to
that's
think-
bullshit, Ron, but like they do have tech to track how many shots he's taking. So like he could very well know exactly how many shots he's putting up, and it's true.
No, for
It is
sure.
possible.
He
Ron, think
could
about
know
this.
and
So
lie about it
2,000
too.
of them. So if I'm taking
That's also
2,000
true.
shots,
Yeah.
I'm going in the morning and I got 5 spots and I'm shooting 200 shots. That's 1,000. I got 5 spots and I'm shooting 200 shots. That's 1,000 shots right there. And then I come back at night and I do the same thing. That's 2,000 shots in a day.
Chill. I'm like, so he's a professional now. He doesn't have to go to
Yes.
school. He doesn't have to run a
I know.
business. He doesn't have to do anything else. He has 24 hours to get in 2,000 shots. He very well
Yeah.
could do it. Only thing that I'm telling you guys is bare minimum, he's shooting for 3 hours to get those shots up. And on top of that, he's not just shooting catch and shoot shots because
No.
no
It's a
logical
variety
basketball
of
player would do
shots.
that. He's
Yeah.
going to shoot turnaround shots. He's going to shoot step backs. He's going to. It looks like he's working on his hang dribble in the threes. He's working on those. He's working on step backs. He's working on. So that's going to add more time into each shot and into each
Agreed.
section where he's shooting shots. So
Yeah.
I'm saying is it's going to take him upwards of 4 hours to do
What's
that
the most shots you've gotten up in an hour before?
in an hour.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, it's only really possible in an hour to potentially get 250, maybe 250.
How many shots did Steph Curry get up on Mars in that one video he did? How long did it? Was it 17 minutes?
It was 5 minutes. He went 105 for 105. He
Right,
shot 100
so-
straight, but he was just shooting. He was
5
shooting-
minutes.
He shot spot threes in the corner. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if Caleb Wilson's saying, "Oh, he just shoots catch and shoot threes all day,"
That's
then it's like,
feasible.
at that point, not really repping anything meaningful in my opinion. But like, it depends. Is he going through a whole workout getting up 2,000 shots, or is he just standing there just shooting?
Yeah.
Like one is a lot more beneficial than the other, but
Yeah,
bro,
it looks like he works hard.
No.
It looks like he works hard.
Ron, we should do this in New York. We can do a shooting challenge with one of those machines. That's what we can do.
Oh, that'd be so fun. That would be so fun, bro. I
let's
gotta get
do
back
it.
to that shit.
If you want to embarrass yourself, let's do it.
I don't feel the need to be embarrassed.
Speaking of doing something, Ron, I got to bounce. I'll see you dudes later.
All right, Chill.
See you later.
Sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
All right, have a good one, Chill. Have a good one, Chill. Nice talking to you, brother.
Ciao.
Nice to meet you.
Choose. All right. SMNR and DM said it's different, Ox. We not mad and we don't care how much Wemby made. The issue is the owners made a system which forces players to choose money versus ambition.
I don't agree with
I
that.
just think making a super max exist is tough because now you're putting players in a spot where they're eligible for the super max, and then when the players actually go for the super max, teams realistically would rather not pay them that, because then when you have a player making that much money, it's hard to build around. I think a prime example is probably Jalen Duren, where it's like, yeah, we can give you all this money, but like we don't want to though, and then it kind of ruins your route. I don't know. I think the like purpose of the Supermax is not what I think wound up happening because of it. So I don't know. It's not great.
Clips fan 1221 said Reeves is a lot closer to Murray than Giddey is to LaMelo.
Oh, that's a callback to whenever Road Talk was up here, Morris.
Speaking of real talk, Zay Allen sent through a super chat and said, "Real talk, this from last week. Why is Reeves better than Jamal Murray?"
Think about it. We had a host that can get to that subject on time.
Wait, this was happening? I didn't hear this take.
Last week, Road Talk said Reeves was. He even said he was better than Jamal Murray. Or there's not a big gap. I can't remember which one he said, but it was something like that.
No, respect to that community, man.
Real talk will be back on Wednesday. When he's back, we can really get down to the bottom of who's better. I personally got, the white guy, but, I would like to hear why Real Talk has Reeves as well. Fiji Finesser sent through $5 and said, if players made their own league, they could create a farm system via their AAU teams to take away from the NBA's talent funnel.
Okay. Respect.
Yeah, that would be interesting, but I doubt it happened. But hey, we could dream. We got another member by the name of Luis Carlos. We'll just leave it at that. Shout out to Luis Carlos. Black Star 99 also became a YouTube member. Salute to my man Black Star. Thank you for sending through that super chat. And also, prayers up. Hoping for a speedy recovery, my guy.
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
Mad Max Sports said, if players got paid their value, Wemby would make over $1 billion, and the last 5 players on the roster would make $80K. Owners pay everybody.
There would be a big discrepancy between the first and
It would be a big discrepancy for sure. Yeah.
I don't know about
Definitely
$1 billion and $80K, but I understand the sentiment.
All right. My man Luis Carlos not only joined up as a member, but then sent through a super chat and said, when Messi joined the MLS, he made a deal to get a percentage out of every Apple TV MLS package subscription because he knew he was the biggest star ever in the MLS.
That's actually very good business. He did that? That's hard.
Yeah, football contracts are weird. When David Beckham joined the MLS, in his contract, he got first option of buying a new MLS expansion team.
It's fire.
So
really?
You can put all types of things into your contracts in football.
That's unique.
Was Zlatan the first one to ever? He was the first one to come to MLS, wasn't he?
David Beckham came before Zlatan.
Okay.
We got
David Beckham was really the first one, I think. To do
That's really good money though. So every Apple TV package he has a percentage of.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know what
crazy.
the percentage is, but that's why he owns into Miami now. Is because he got the first dibs on being able to buy a team.
That's hard. That's really cool, honestly.
Falcon Acer sent through $6.99 and said, billionaires born with a silver spoon in their mouth, asking millionaires who often come from nothing to take a pay cut. Not me.
Once again, I don't think the Spurs asked Wemby to take a pay cut, but I wasn't in the room. So, but
yeah,
my feeling is they didn't ask him to do that.
Which is fair. Yeah.
SMN RNDM sent through yet another $5 and said, Rob Pelinka in 10 years, claiming I was unlucky. Superstars didn't want to take a pay cut and giving the free agent or the front office another excuse to mask their incompetence.
I'm gonna use this chat as a breaking point just to see how y'all feel. Do y'all like the Lakers this year?
It depends. Like them for what?
Like, how good are they to you?
50 wins, 52, 53.
Yeah, they're a good regular season team that I struggle to see how they compete majorly in the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm like 46 to 50 wins, somewhere in there. I mean, Luka's just gonna do that. That's just
like a top 5 seed to you? If you had to
depends on the conference.
Ballpark it.
They're injured again, yes, of course, but they're also just good too.
OKC, San Antonio,
Denver.
OKC, San Antonio, Denver, Minnesota, Houston, and the Lakers are probably the top 6 in the West for me.
Okay.
They could be anywhere from 3 to 8. I could see a world where anything in that realm could happen.
Fair.
All right, Clips fan 1221 said Baba Miller is better than Ade Mara by far as of right now.
He's been better in the summer league. I've liked what I've seen from Bobo Miller.
Mhm.
Is Bob Miller
Shout out to
on the Clippers?
Martinelli. Oh, yeah. Shout out
Okay.
to Martinelli or whoever who's on the Clippers. That man be scoring that ball, man. Shout out to him.
He was
Shout out to
wasn't he
Keon
like
Wembley as well.
top 5 in the nation last year in scoring?
Something every time
three,
every time he
something like that?
scores, every time he scores, the commentators want to remind me that he averaged like 23 or something. So
He was getting
he
to
was
it.
obviously doing his thing. Yeah, he was obviously doing his thing.
All right, Charles Quinton sent through $4.99 and said Trent getting 16 mil is like paying $100K for 2012 for a 2012 Ford Focus. If I'm a rival owner, I would be pissed. Peyton Watson gotta want double that now.
Ain't gonna
Oh,
happen.
yeah, we still haven't gotten an answer on the Peyton Watson shit. Swipe, what's
That's
going
so
on with
funny.
that, bro?
2012. Shout out, man. Shout out Fords.
He's making more than Mitchell Robinson next year, man. God damn. Shout out to Mary Trent.
Yeah, get that.
Wait,
money,
so
man.
what you think is gonna happen with the Peyton Watson stuff? Swipe.
He's gonna get squeezed because he's in restricted free agency because this is the way the owner's designed it. He ain't got no choice. He's gonna get whatever he gets.
All right. Well, speaking of which, Peyton Watson and the Denver Nuggets, my man Ulysses Ventura sent through $5 and said the Nuggets are going full LeBron or bust. The Nugget is happening. If LeBron goes to Denver, you bet your ass Kroenke is paying that bill to keep Watson. Swipe, you gonna
I
bet
don't
your
know
ass?
about that.
No, but I do hope LeBron comes to Denver. That'd be great. Love to have my GOAT, two favorite players ever.
Do you want them to do that? I mean, it doesn't really
To sign LeBron James?
Yeah.
I would love to be able to be in the media room with LeBron James on the regular. That would be phenomenal.
And
Or
then
there's going to be a circus in there.
Are they going to sign? So you don't think they're going to, if they sign LeBron, they're not going to sign what?
No,
Watson?
those two are they're not dependent upon each other.
No, but I'm saying, do you? So you don't think that'll happen?
Which part?
Like, do you think that they're going to re-sign Watson in general?
Yeah. I think ultimately he's going to get squeezed to a deal that was less than ideal, and I think they'll just match it, and then they will sign it back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Clips fan sent through a members chat and said Wagler went nuts in the third quarter last night.
18 points, I think, 3 threes.
I have to watch them. I haven't seen them play yet.
Yeah, he's not my favorite kind of player, but he's a good. Go ahead, Mars.
I was gonna say he's about what I kind of expected. Yeah, he's
Good shooter.
kind of shootable.
Is he going to be a defender in the next level? Do we think? He's tall.
Yeah, he has good positional size. That's pretty much it.
I think the size helps, but like, I don't know how I think productive he'll be.
Size does help maneuverability.
I don't think he's gonna be a great defensive player, but I mean, he's got a lot of physical development to do. So we'll see where he ends up.
All right, Double Agent 003 said, in perspective, was the Brown and Tatum era a success? 2 finals appearances in this parity league must be an accomplishment, right?
I mean, by little definition, yeah, they won. Like, that's what it come down to.
They wouldn't have.
Did
They
you win or
wouldn't
not?
have been there in 22 if Jimmy didn't get hurt. But yeah, I do think it's.
They would have been there in
success.
23 if Jason Tatum ain't got hurt.
No. We're not doing that. Jimmy
works out.
Butler. They went to a game 7. Jimmy didn't have a quad. Like, actually didn't have a quad.
They went to a game 7 and Jason Tatum ain't have an ankle.
But Jimmy, should he made that pull up 3? Should he have shot that pull up 3 or taken it to the basket though? Mars is the question.
I don't blame him for shooting it.
I'm not mad at
Game
it.
7 was
I don't
terrific,
blame
man.
him for shooting it. Yeah.
I ain't mad at it. It's cool.
Yeah, people act like Jimmy's a bum, man. I know that was a few years ago, but that's gonna be
I still like Jimmy, man.
5 years ago at that point by next year.
I like Jimmy
Bro,
Butler, man. Good
Miami
player.
Heat Jimmy Butler, like, I went back and I watched game 5, and it's like the shit he was doing. I'm like, bro, that's one of the best player performances you'll see. He was killing that whole series, man.
No, and he
He's a
went to
decent player. Yeah. He's
got traded
decent
to a
player.
stinky franchise because the franchise I work for doesn't want to trade Michael Porter Jr. at that point. So whatever.
All right, we got a members chat from JF7. JF7 said, Braun going to Miami, the Golden State Warriors, or New York. 5th ring on the way.
Respect to the LeBron James community.
2 of those
Kobe
teams,
fans won't be able to use the 5 rings argument anymore.
yeah, 2 of those teams are winning a title with LeBron. So, but maybe New York.
We'll have to see. Word on the streets is he will be making his commitment this week. So, hey, man, y'all get ready to talk Braun soon.
Right.
Andrew Coleman sent through a members chat and said, like Wilson said, he had a role in UNC. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still don't think he's that good of a shooter, but maybe he is. I don't know.
I'm just eager to see.
Me too.
Hopefully Darren plays tonight. I can't wait for that.
He's
game.
not. He's already ruled out. He's already
for real?
Yeah.
All right.
You get ruled out just now?
Still get to watch Caleb Wilson, I guess.
Like an hour
Cody Williams is playing, isn't he?
Oh my God.
What
Don't get me started with
mad at Cody
I'm
Williams?
not even gonna do it, man. Yeah, if you've been watching, if you know, you know.
He was a good player in the season last year. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Williams gonna go in March for sure. Yeah, he gonna go in March.
He did.
March, man. Hey, March and July.
It's not.
All right, Shadsky on every platform sent through a members chat and said ESPN ranked Joker fourth best center of all time. Y'all agree?
Shaq,
No.
who and who?
Shaq, Kareem, and Wilt probably.
Ugh.
No, I don't agree.
I agree he's better than Wilt, but he needs to get up out of there. Yeah, Bill Russell needs to be in there. I've told you my opinion on Wilt.
Hakeem?
6 when I did
He's better than Hakeem?
Oh, yeah, maybe it was Hakeem. Yeah, maybe it was 6.
Yes,
maybe it was Hakeem. I had Jokic at 6 when I made my list a year ago.
Okay.
I mean, he's obviously better than Bill Russell, but you know why I have Bill Russell number 1 or ahead of him. But you know,
Bill Russell averaged 22 rebounds.
Has nothing to do with basketball, but shout to Bill.
Anchor the best defense all time. So, Jokic can't really do that.
Anchor the
Get
best
your
offense
shit
all time.
off.
What does that mean?
Jamal Murray, really, but either way it goes. Bryant8660 sent through the last members chat of the day and said, "We letting Tyler Hero slide."
Oh, we actually didn't talk. Well, sorry. Maybe y'all talked about that. I don't know. I actually haven't talked about this with anyone yet. Yeah, that happened. What are your thoughts on that?
I have no thoughts.
You better.
The Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Ron knows about that. Chill had his feet dangling in the air last time they saw each other.
Swiper, you about to have your feet dangling in the air later tonight.
All right, now that
he's
that
going to the fair. He's about to ride that. He's going to the fair. He's going to ride that one ride where your legs just,
Ron,
do the thing.
I need you to understand the way that clip will be taken out of context is dooming for you because that did not come out the way you thought it came out.
Yeah, it's okay. The people watching the show know what I'm talking about, and Swiper understands what I'm talking about too.
Chat, that clip from the it's out the mud. It's out the mud.
Anyways, y'all, it was fun. It was real. And anybody else out there that's going to have their feet dangling later tonight, it's okay. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the ride that you're going to be on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Gifted, I appreciate you for pulling up. Oh, wait, one more super chat. Just came through. Yak Man said, Caleb better than y'all favorite rookies. Swiper's a hater. I agree with both of those.
Caleb's gonna be really good, man. We'll see exactly what it's looking like. W chat, W stream. It was a fun time, Ron. Salute.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Same time, same place tomorrow. Be easy and download Splash Sports. We out.